Hello, everyone. Good evening.
That warning was so creepy.
I know.
I did not need that.
The pre-stream warning that I give all these folks it's always like, how can I surprise them? How can I make sure that they're awake and paying attention and get ready to start playing our games here? So
the thread of fear that just went through my entire body.
Yes.
I was hot and now I'm like cold.
Yes.
And it's like 80 degrees in my living room right now.
It is a warm evening. The summer is here, or whatever you want to call it. It is
heat dome.
Yes, I would like to send the summer back, please.
Yeah, the summer. The summer in
return to sender
in the eastern portion of this United States is dreadful. It's not pleasant. I can imagine it's probably worse in places like the Southwest where it's like 195 degrees. You walk outside and you basically cook yourself. I do apologize to those.
They all have central air, though.
Do they though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
Well, that's like one of my best friends who grew up in Florida was like, yeah, Florida's really hot, but you go from your air-conditioned house outside for 5 minutes to your air-conditioned car, and then you drive to your air-conditioned location.
Got it.
So you're not really outside in it.
Got it. Well,
in fact, most people wear like long sleeves and long pants all year round because the air conditioning is so intense that you need to have that. So it's like, or you just carry layers with you wherever you go, because when you're in the air conditioning, you need all of those layers. It's crazy.
I mean, I've always done that in New York too, because we blast the air conditioning so hard that you dress for the outdoors and then you get inside and you have become a meat popsicle.
Well,
that's a phrase.
I can imagine it's pretty warm down under where our friend Red is as well. But it looks like you're wearing.
Winter there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's winter. You're wearing like a sweatshirt.
Yeah, wearing a jumper.
So jealous right now.
A jumper? Is that? Yeah, it's a jumper.
A jumper.
Jumper.
It's a jumper.
Jumper, because you jump in it. What?
Which he found with his torch.
She just giggles.
After he went to the loo.
It's a sweater because when you wear it, you sweat. So if you put a jumper on and do you just jump? Like, just start jumping? Like, woohoo!
No, you jump into it.
It's
you
a
jump
goal.
in it, and then you jump out of it.
You jump into it and you jump out of it.
I mean, that's one way to spend a Friday night.
Hey,
temperature fluctuates so much, so it's either you're hot or you're cold. So you either jump in or jump out of here. Jump.
Hey, Sarah, what do you?
Can anybody else hear that?
What are you doing on Friday, Sarah? What are you doing on Friday? Wanna come over and
I don't hear anything.
Hey,
jump in and out of things.
I've got something you may want to jump into and then jump out of. It's a cool Friday night.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, jump.
Okay.
Guys, this is the family-friendly stream.
What? No, this is.
It is definitely not.
Where have you been for the past few years?
It depends. I guess I would say it depends on the family. I feel like the Manson family would be happy here.
Oh my gosh! Wow, Sarah.
I mean, we're already dealing with Strahd's family, so
this is his. This is his people. Yeah, that is well said. So nice segue there, Maeve. Let's jump into it. See what I did there? It's about to jump. It's about to jump. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna be done now.
Gonna happen all night.
Oh boy, there is a lot to unpack tonight. We should call this the unpacking episode because there's a lot. Exposition aplenty. But
this is the luggage episode. Everybody settle in and prepare to unpack.
Prepare for monologues aplenty and unpacking aplenty. The lore-tastic episode.
Before we start, sorry, can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my headphones are going insane right now, and I might have to switch my entire sound setup.
We should all just do that until her sound comes back. Everybody,
no, my sound is here. It sounds like pinball in my headphones. It's just going in my headphones, and it's.
I'm the scat man.
I mean,
no,
God, no, it's my computer.
I thought of that freaking song in forever.
That's so Wait, hold on. I thought I heard that for a second.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, that. It's like a ping pong thing, but it's not my headphones. It's something in my computer.
It's like your computer is playing Pong extra fast.
Yes. And is it?
That's all. Let's all listen to the technical woes that Megan is having. Let's all listen.
So many right now.
But yeah, I definitely heard the sound for a minute.
I heard it was going.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Zoom?
Is it Zoom? I don't think so. Because
something's happening in Zoom.
Well, did you mute yourself
every time I
in
click
Zoom?
into the Zoom window, it starts. I'm not even in the audio. There's something, but it's like whenever I have the Zoom window open. All right, I'm just not going to be able to look at any of you tonight.
Oh, that's not a problem. I don't think that we have ever had a problem looking at you.
Okay.
So you might as well just. Yeah, it's cool. Don't worry. I'll just say, hey, Megan, this is an important scene. Eye contact. Eye contact.
Sure.
Otherwise, this is just a radio play. This is just a radio play in your mind. Okay. Close your eyes. Be with it.
Kind of what it's gonna be. I'm just gonna go zen.
You're gonna super. I mean, this is gonna be a very visual episode, mind-wise.
That's how it is for me most of the time. I generally just have like Matt pinned in the corner so I can see the DM phase, because if we're moving around a map, I don't want to keep switching screens. But then I'm like, oh, we're clearly gonna sit still for the next 20 minutes and talk. I'll click back to Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay. I see how it is, Sarah. Just looking at my face, and
because I don't have if I have a multi-monitor setup, eventually one day I can have you all.
I have everything on one big screen. So many people have like 2 or 3 screens and all that stuff. Nope, just one big.
I'm on a laptop though, bro.
That's fair.
I'm on a laptop.
That's fair.
I do actually have a setup to put extra screens on my laptop. I just have to like cable the whole thing up to make it work.
Roger that. All right. So that said, let's jump.
Okay. I think I might have fixed it.
Oh shit!
Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's jump. For my love. Welcome, folks. Welcome back to Ravenloft Domains of Dread. Except I can't hear the bloody music. There we go.
I can.
I know you can.
I can.
Yes, it was muted. All right, here we go. Previously on Ravenloft Domains of Dread, the Fafos have been brought back to the misty land of Barovia, there to make good on your dinner date with Strahd's Bun Zarovich. After being enticed to come to Strahd's castle with a horse-drawn carriage, beautiful, wonderful thing, arriving at your port of call, you took a moment to have Ginnifer call forth a magical tower, where you spent time collecting your thoughts and recouping after a set of deadly battles under the seas. Finally, after commiserating for a time and determining what your next plan forward would be, you accepted the Count's invitation and were brought through the misty roads to the castle itself. You were accepted into the Count's company, whereupon you met several of his court, 3 of his lovely brides, as well as a youthful looking male elven vampire, and an elf who seems to be the only non-vampire at all in his court. All of which seemed very interested in all of you. A repast, a beautiful feast was laid out before you, and some of you ate, some of you did not. All the while, others
literally haven't talked to this person.
Potentially viewed you as supper. Finally, with dinner over, Strahd recounted that the last time you all spoke, he communicated that a traitor was in your midst. And with a dramatic flourish, Strahd turned to Ginnifer and asked her to stand and tell you everything. And then smiled, as if he knew what words you were about to say next. And that's where we begin tonight. So, I'm dying. See what I did there? I'm dying to find out what it is that are the next words out of Ginnifer's mouth.
As he does this, Moina just sort of picks up her glass and, like, as if in a toast to Ginnifer, remembering what she said to her the other night about her big reveals, and was just like, takes a sip, sets it down, and waits.
I think Ginnifer would nod at you. Look over to Lord Strahd, and look around. So very well. If you wish to hear what I have to say, I can tell you exactly what I know. But before I do, I must first ask that you allow my companion back in this room.
Strahd
I realize.
smiles and nods.
You spoke of family, companions. She is someone who has listened to me this entire time. Not only that, but although she is not willing to trust you, I am. And if you would permit her to return to this room, if she breaks your trust, I will take her punishment for her. If that is amenable to you, Lord Strahd.
He raises a hand and with 2 fingers pointed at the door just sort of slowly on its own accord creaks open.
Did someone change their mind?
Yes.
I believe.
Louisa comes back in the room. He's like, hello? Alright. Can't do the thing.
Please. Sit. Friend
Thank you.
wishes to regale us with information. I believe that she has waited a very long time to tell you.
The smile of
Louisa
that
sits.
phrase. Well, I wanted to let everyone here know that I know who the traitor is. And I know what you're thinking. It's not me. No, your traitor is someone much closer to our allies than should ever have been allowed. Our traitor is Ephesnan Loran, which is why I do not trust Atlantic right now. And if you need proof that I am speaking the truth, I can give you all the reasons why I know this is fact.
Out of game, I need to be reminded who Hafiz Nanlaran is. I recognize the name, but it has been a while.
Hafiz
Is that-
Nanlaran is a member of the Mist
He's
Hunters.
one of Valanic's people.
He
Yeah.
is, yes.
He's
He's a
one of
member
Atlantic's
of
people.
Atlantic's members of Mist Hunters, shall we call it. He's a seer. He is a younger man. He's a number of... you know that you are not the only group of people that Atlantic has employed to go out into the mists and upon certain investigations and jobs, etc. And upon, I believe, returning from... where was it? Was it Lamortia? No, it was later on. It may have been...
We returned from Barovia and met him for the first time.
That is fair, yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he...
But...
yeah.
Go
ahead.
The first time you heard his name was in Barovia.
That is correct.
Was he looking over maps with Alanik
Yes.
in Venbrickton shop?
Yes.
Okay,
That is
that's
correct.
what I remember.
That is correct. He's a good-looking
So,
younger man,
Mhm.
probably in his probably early to mid-30s. Long, flowing, dark hair. Bit of an accent. Can't really place it.
So yes,
Does
upon hearing that,
anyone?
Moy would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, does anyone here, having heard that, suddenly remember him in a different context?
What do you mean by that? Are you asking? I'm sorry. Are you asking me as the DM? Or are you asking everyone else at the table?
I'm asking you as the DM.
I don't believe so.
Because I think I know where Maeve is going, and if that's the case,
Sure.
then
I can gladly explain my reasoning for this.
Just
Go
an
for it.
FYI, if you look into our old handouts, if you go to Calling Upon the Dead, there's a picture of Hafiz in there.
There
That
is
is
a
correct.
picture
Yeah,
of
that's
him
right. We
there.
were talking to him right before the ghost adventure.
Yeah, you know what? I
Yes.
think
We
I'm
were.
going to.
I think.
I will show
Yeah,
him.
Calling Upon the
This
Dead.
is what he looks
Yeah.
like.
Well, we actually found the first picture of Gloria and Ginnifer.
Correct.
Also, apparently.
Ah, the ghost adventure is dead, but yes. But yes. I have been suspicious of Hafiz since I met him. He is capable of doing a great many things he should have no business being able to do. Like that little ritual at my ancestral home. The notes
What
you
do
gave,
you think allows him to do that?
I don't know. But I do know he is our traitor. And I know he is connected to the Red-Eyed Man. Shayleith mentioned him the first time. When we were in the Amber Temple. After we saw Shayleith with red eyes. These notes you gave me also mention the same man. When they were attacked and the rods were stolen. Not only that, but there is one other bit of information that I realized when we were in your home, why not?
Yes.
This book, and I'm going to take out the journal we found when we were there. Hafiz Nalaran is an anagram for Faran Zahonin.
So you believe that they are one and the same?
I believe they are, yes. It's actually
But
the
how
information
exactly
I
does this
wanted.
make him a traitor? I suppose that's what I don't understand.
According to these notes, when the rod was stolen, Hafiz was not at Van Richten's shop when they returned. We met him when he did the seance. Something he should have no business doing. Spirits do not inhabit bodies like that. Not 5 of them. Well, there's 5 of them. Cape is there too. He knows things that I've never heard of. Van Richten's never heard of. Things Atlantic's never heard of. He is very suspicious, and I do not trust him.
Hafiz
That's what
or Alanik?
Personally, I think Atlantic is being played like a fiddle. I don't think he knows any of this, which is why I did not want you to message him. You asked when we got here. Because I realized we were in your home, as I said. It is also the thing I wanted to talk to you about, Louisa, when we left.
I suppose there are two things I don't quite understand in this somewhat anticlimactic revelation. One, you keep referring to him as a traitor, but a traitor to who? Right now he seems suspicious, but as for myself, I barely know the man, and thus I do not understand how he could have betrayed me when I gave him no trust to betray. And the other question, and to this she turns to Strahd, is that you said there was a traitor in our midst. Now, you don't strike me as one being so broad in one's assessment. Is what Ginnifer has just revealed the information you were implying in that statement?
Strahd turns to you and says, "You did not come to Barovia alone.
No.
You came by land with him."
Cloudy. You meant Cloudy?
No. You came to my land and came to the seat of power here, Barovia. The place from which I at one time went to obtain all the powers that I now possess. And with you came this. And he smiles a toothy, odd grin. This man. Although you were not aware of his presence, he was there in the Ember Temple with you. And he left
Is she leave?
when you left. Shelif was a vessel. I must make you aware of what you call a man is not simply that. But my tale is of secondary importance to the one that you must regale us with, Ginnifer. When I said to tell them everything, I meant everything.
Eyebrow.
Eyebrow indeed. Jennifer thinks for a moment what he means by those words. I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, you played coy, young maiden very well.
Sorry. Moynad does actually snort at that a little bit. That was an in-character snort.
If you do not wish to tell your companions, I will be more than happy to secrets myself. I have no ties to them. You, however.
And please, share them.
He leans into the table and laces his fingers and says, "Where did you learn your magic, Ginnifer?"
I studied it.
From whom?
From books, from tomes, from Rudolf van Richten. Is that who you mean?
Oh, that incessant
I know you.
bug does not give me any cause for fear or alarm. The one, however, that you speak to in your dreams. The one
Oh,
who now realize I speak of is the one who gives you your true power.
well, you are correct. I have achieved a great deal. To the voices I hear. Voices I've heard since I was but a child. Though I presume you made one specific voice. Is that right?
The one who you would call your patron. So kind to call it.
I, personally, have never referred to him as that. He has given me information that has been very beneficial to me over the years. Such as my attempt to bring Loria back.
Ah, yes. Your dear departed sister. How did
Yes.
that fare? Your attempts to bring her back?
Well, it didn't fare very well. Trapped me in the body with Amnestria, who may or may not be my sister. I really don't know at this point. She may be part of me. I really have no idea. But what I do know is that what was supposed to happen is not what happened during that ritual.
You have been trapped, wanting something that you cannot have. You are not so different from me.
I suppose not.
You have put yourself in a very precarious place, Ginnifer. You and your sister, in allying yourself with this entity, you have given him a greater hold over the powers of life and death than you could ever imagine. You have given him the keys to unmaking this land as well as others. That is why it is so very important that you understand that despite your alliances with this being, that you understand why and who is.
Well, if you would like to share that information, I would be glad to hear it.
Do you even
I do
know
not.
his name?
No, I do not. I have never been told his name the entire time I've heard his voice.
There is great power in the name. I therefore am deigned give it to you. Azalin Rex. You perhaps have heard this name.
I have, yes.
What do you know of Azalin?
I know that he was once the Lord of Darkon before he disappeared. I know he was a very powerful spellcaster. I've read.
What of the others of you? Have you heard anything beyond what she speaks?
Can I make a roll for it?
I would say that's fine. I'd say you can go ahead and make a history roll.
History? Okay.
Yeah. Gonna be a tough one, but I think it's doable.
Let's see if roll 20 is actually. Oh, there we go. 21.
Anyone else?
In a second, I'm looking to see. I could have sworn that had. Oh wait, there it is. I was looking to
Oh,
see.
we have
And
plenty
I
of
knew he
notes
was.
on Aslan Rex.
I knew he was
was
in
gonna
my
say.
notes. I was trying to find what I wrote down as Moynat.
Yeah, Pleo's. I mean,
Can
you
I
guys all
make
have
a history
notebooks.
check?
I mean,
Yeah.
stick with what you know first before what you surmise that you know. Right?
Fair enough. I have said what I know then.
Fair enough.
Hold on a second. I just gotta go back.
No problem.
That's it. Yeah. Moynat will sort of perk up and say, "In the Isle of Hearts, I had the strangest dream. I saw a shining star, and then time seemed to move backwards. And there was a castle floating above a city, burning with a strange red and black energy, the likes of which I had not seen before. When I awoke and explained the vision, Louisa told me that was Castle Avons, ruled over by Aslan Rex. I do not like the way that name feels in my mouth.
He was a tyrant, he was an immortal king, and he was a dark lord. And as I recall, perhaps the only other person, aside from present company, and she nods at Strahd, to possibly know how the apparatus worked.
Strahd, with a note of resignation, gives you a brief nod. Anyone else
I was
have
under the
any
impression-
other notes? Sorry, apologies. Go ahead.
I was just going to have Louisa say, I was under the impression that you were enemies. Is that an incorrect assumption?
Strahd smiles at that and says, "Yes, he was and is one of my oldest adversaries. But perhaps the one being that I could ever call my equal."
One being,
Have you?
Perhaps you could explain something to me then. The last time I heard that voice, it said something very curious to me. Maybe you can shine some light on those words. He used a phrase. Very specific phrase that's been rattling around in my head since I've heard it. Why can't I find the phrase? I fucking wrote it down.
You are holding us all in deep suspense, Ginnifer.
My apologies. I was merely thinking of the words. Two beings, once shattered. Does that mean anything to you?
Very much so.
Can you explain it?
Since we are done with dinner, I would be more than happy to. Would you prefer I tell the tale here amongst pleasant company? Or would you prefer to retire to my study? Can be perhaps more comfortable.
Going to look around at the party and see their reactions.
Moynat actually isn't looking at you. She is looking at Strahd and smiling a strange little smile.
It's hot. Strahd's gonna roll an insight check to see what the fuck is going on.
I was going more for like a cat that got the canary smile, but I'll take it.
Okay, whatever.
She is a bard.
Yeah, whatever. That's cool. Riz check. Here we go. Hold on. Insight.
Do that Riz check while I find my pen I dropped.
Yeah, please. No, that's all right.
What
Riz...
am I rolling Riz?
No. You could roll your deception check, and he's gonna roll his insight check to see what the hell's going on in your mind.
I'm not deceiving anything.
Oh, you're just giving him the whole.
Grinning. Moynat is grinning like the cat that got the canary. Like Moynat is grinning at him like she figured something out.
Okay, well, let me see if he figures out what you figured out. That sound cool?
But I know that
you know that I know.
That you know.
You want to roll some math rocks? It's cool.
I know that
what you don't know that I know that you know that I know is that I know that you know what I know.
But do you really know what you think that you know that you know that I know that maybe you don't know?
On the steps of the palace. Okay.
On the steps of the palace.
I knew Megan would sing it. I knew it.
Hey, I'm playing Cinderella in like a month.
Are you really? Oh my god!
Yes!
Okay, sorry. Time out. Ravenloft off for a second. Grats to you, Megan. Grats to you.
Thank you.
I had no idea that you were playing Cinderella. Grats.
Yeah.
Super happy for you. Okay.
Me too.
Sorry. Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Ravenloft on. Okay. So
back to Ravenloft.
Yeah. So he's definitely gonna make a. He's definitely gonna make an insight check on you. That's not great. That's a 12.
My charisma base is an 18, so he has absolutely no idea why I'm grinning at him.
God damn you and your fishy ways.
But I'll give him that it's not malevolent.
Oh, that's very kind. Yeah, you're not looking at him like.
I'm not looking at him like I want to kill him.
Full Metal Jacket stare. Vincent D'Onofrio, like
not Full Metal, no Gomer Pyle stare. This is more.
I know what he did there, kind of smile.
Yeah, no, more just like grinning, like I figured something out about you.
Okay, cool.
And you don't know what.
Oh, you're so cute when you smile like that. All right, all right. So Strahd. Yeah, so he just sort of laces his fingers and he waits for a response to determine where you guys want to go.
I think with this new bit of information, Louisa's just kind of like attempting to be casual as she looks around because she would just like to know where all the exits are. Because she's just like, oh boy. There's so much
emergency. Right, there's an exit.
Exit to the vampire castle are in the back.
Here and here.
In the event of an emergency,
down the
follow
aisle.
the rivers of blood to your nearest exit.
Yep. And she's just kind of like, oh boy, this is
Do not deploy your life vest while inside the dining room.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
yes,
Mikmick had out the self, he could actually do that. Quite
self-deploy.
a conduction.
Yes. What do you guys want? Do you guys want to stay, or do you want to go?
I was going to say, at this point, like realizing that a question has been framed and no one is answering, Moynat will just sort of just break eye contact with Strahd and stand up, letting her chair noisily scoot back behind her and say, I, for one, wouldn't mind a change of venue.
That sounds perfectly fine to me.
Am I still invited to this next room, or do you need me to wait in the hallway for a bit again?
You are invited,
You're coming.
provided you follow the rules of decorum that our host has so graciously requested of us.
I'm a lady.
I am
nothing
well aware
but
you're a lady.
diapers.
Then I believe the answer has been given. Please allow me to accompany to my study. And he just sort of snaps his fingers at Piddlewick, the little man who has been in the corner the whole time. Piddlewick races over to the chair and pulls it out from behind Moynat in a gesture of gentlemanly what's the best word for it?
Chivalry?
Yes, decorum, etiquette.
There we are. Moynat will step to the side and, while making eye contact with Strahd, will give Piddlewick a very gracious curtsy.
Piddlewick just looks up at you emotionless because literally his face is painted on. And then sort of races around to the other side and holds the chair for Ginnifer.
I'm not sitting, though. I'm standing still.
Oh, that's a good point. And then he moves over to Louisa and does the same.
Thank you.
It nods.
And Mikmick will get out of his own seat.
Yep. The rest of Strahd's court simply stands up and pushes their own chairs back. And Strahd, gliding almost, walks to the door and walks past it into the hallway.
I'm not seeing any tokens move. Ah, there we go.
And Mikmick would
Following.
just sidle up to Moynat just for a minute and just say, Moynat, just something that I noticed that maybe you could more eloquently put, but Strahd just admitted to using Amnestria to gain information when she's a puppet of his rival.
Yes, I didn't
Doesn't
quite
it-
follow what he was saying there.
Yes, it just seems a bit curious why he would be using Ginnifer in that way.
Curious how? He is a Dark Lord. Information is currency.
But to use a young lady like Ginnifer to gain that information seems a bit, well, dare I say it, a bit more evil. Especially when they have, well,
He's a Dark Lord. Did you skip that chapter?
Sorry.
Jennifer's out of the room for this.
I haven't researched Strahd that much, but from what I've seen, he's actually quite eloquent. I haven't seen his dark side to it yet.
One can be eloquent and also evil. Tiny one, it is not mutually exclusive condition. You see, Some Dark Lords rule by intimidation and fear, some by sheer unmitigated violence, others through intellect and science, and some, her eyes trail towards the door, maintain control through charm, graciousness, the appearance of kindness. But never forget that he is a Dark Lord and he will take whatever he wants.
Well, I guess in that case, I think it's probably better that you can match his charisma. Which is why I'm trying to keep quiet as I can.
Understood, Tiny One. And I do thank you for sharing your insight. Feel free to do so in the future.
Probably not out loud in front of everybody as I tend to do.
Yes, well. Probably wise.
Oh.
And then she's just going to turn and kind of stroll away from you.
And as Mikmick leaves, he'll what was the robot's name? Piddlewick?
Piddlewick. That's correct.
Yeah. And Mikmick will just do a knowing nod to Piddlewick and walk out the door.
Piddlewick gives you like a weird thumbs up.
So
one robot to another.
Yeah. So when Mikmick is unconscious on the ground, is he Puddlewick?
Oh, God.
Maybe.
Only if you
Only actually in a puddle.
Oh boy.
Puddlewick is Mikmick after a thunderstorm.
Oh boy. Okay. Where is it?
We gotta break the tension, son.
No, that's cool. Yeah, listen, you want to break that tension, you break it like a freaking stick. I don't care.
I'm gonna go over here and talk to the suit of armor again. I'll be back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, there's nothing in it. There's really nothing in it. It's okay.
Why not? Is
I like how the
Taurus.
suit of armor is actually turned into a character that we're all talking to.
I am a bard. I can talk to anything. Okay.
It's true. You're like that new Date Everything game.
Oh my God, I've seen that. Wow, that game looks.
I have not, and now I need to.
Unhinged.
It looks crazy, and I love it.
They have so many good voice actors in it too. It's crazy.
It's like,
So-
you can date the
Okay,
couch.
well,
You
now
can
I know
date
what
the
I'm
chair.
doing.
You can date the wall. You can date your everlasting sense
JD
of dread.
Vance's
I'm
dream.
like, what the fuck?
Now I 100% know what I'm doing after I drop my husband off at the airport tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh,
What's fun about it is each character is actually named similar to what they are.
good.
Nice.
So good.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I've played it.
waiting to
Yes.
see where Strahd leads us, Matt.
Yes, indeed. Strahd will lead you to. Ooh, let me see. Yes, okay. He will lead you to a set of stairs that goes upwards. I will bring you to the floor that he will bring you to. So, he basically brings you northward along.
Oh, just the stairs at the end of the hall. Okay.
Yes, the
I
stairs.
was like,
at the,
are
at
we
the-
leaving this whole map a mystery so we can't get out, sir?
The thing about Castle Ravenloft, especially if you've ever played Curse of Strahd, is there are so many maps.
Oh, I
This
bet.
place is a nightmare to run if you do not know where the hell you're going. Because you're like, okay, map 1, map 2, all the way up to like map 12. Each floor is like a layer cake, and there's just so much. And there's like a basement and dungeons and crazy shit. Play Curse of Strahd. If you haven't, it's an oldie, but a great, great goddamn.
I've never played Curse of
It's
Strahd.
so good. Oh
I
my
haven't
God.
either.
Well, maybe one day. When
Maybe one day we'll just gonna have to run
we'll
it.
just have to come on
Yeah,
back
exactly.
to Barovia. Come on back now, you hear?
Mhm.
And see if you guys can beat him up. All right, so with that, yeah, Strahd walks
Southern
to... You guys again? Yeah. He walks
We just gonna play
northward.
the same fucking characters.
Well, you're going to have to de-level yourself because it only goes up to like level 10 or level 11 or something like that. So, yeah, he leads you upwards, northwards to the end of the hallway into this sort of long winding staircase that does seem to go up.
Louisa's gonna just put a hand on Ginnifer's arm as they get to the base of the stairs and let the others like go ahead. And so walk and talk. She's still following, but like at a slower pace. And she's just going to lean over to Ginnifer and says, "You truly didn't know?"
Who the voice was? No, I didn't.
This may be trouble.
I have heard voices since I was 5 years old. That's why my father put me in an institution. In fact, I've heard voices since right after my mother died. Believe it or not.
You've heard this voice since right after your mother died?
Yes, I have. Loria was the only person who didn't think I was crazy.
We all know you're not crazy. I wasn't talking about trouble as in that. I was talking trouble as in, and she kind of like motions her head to Strahd.
I am not worried about Lord Strahd von Zarovich.
Well, that makes one of us.
If the person, the voice I've been speaking to, my patron, as he says, is really Azalin Rex, the fact Strahd let me in this castle to begin with, he would have killed me long before I made it to these doors.
Possibly. It's also possible that he let you live because he thinks there's a use for you. And that will be your choice as to whether or not you want to be useful to him or not.
I've had to make myself useful to people all my life.
That's the thing, Ginnifer. You shouldn't have to.
Maybe you're right.
In this I know I am. Has Ginnifer talked to us about how her mother died?
I don't believe so.
No, she hasn't.
Okay. Louisa's just gonna kind of pat her on the hand and keep.
Okay. I will go ahead and say, let's get the right map here.
So many maps.
There are quite a lot. There are 12 maps. I just have to make sure that I bring over the correct one. I think I missed one.
Wow, missed opportunity. They couldn't have 13.
Yes, I know. Well, technically speaking, there is one that is the basement, so that's technically the 13th map. If you guys go ahead and turn the corner, you will see.
Oh, can we?
I believe you can.
Shit! I didn't walk forward because I didn't think there was anything there.
Well, there you go.
I thought, I also thought it was the end of the map. Oh, hey!
No, it goes up a little further.
Oh, but I can't move any further.
You cannot?
No, I can't. This is as far as I can go.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Maybe there's a lighting glitch? No, there's a lighting glitch. Sorry, let me just remove it.
Okay.
There, lighting
How
glitch,
the
go.
hell do you get through? Why not? Okay, perfect. It works.
I walked around the bottom corner of the
She
stairs. instead of the
phases
top.
through.
Also, I'm
through.
magic.
Yes, that is part of it.
You are very magic.
Oh, she's mad.
The space that you stand in now is a sort of a landing that you see these stairs rise to, a landing about 20 feet wide by 40 feet long. The stone arches support a ceiling covered with frescoes 20 feet overhead. And the frescoes depict armored knights on horseback, their finer features faded beyond recognition. The dust that you have seen prevalent throughout the castle sort of floats in the very air here. And at the end of this wall that you stand next to, Louisa, a staircase rises into darkness, but between the staircase that you see next to Louisa and the one further to the west are twin alcoves, each one containing a standing suit of armor covered with dark stains. Each suit of armor clutches a mace, the business end of which is shaped like a dragon's head. Words engraved on the arches above the suits of armor have been scratched out. Strahd looks at these suits and sort of says, "War comes to us all eventually. Please, join me upstairs." And he slowly but inexorably walks up the stairs past Louisa to the next floor. Which I'm going to bring you to now.
I would say this one we can't pass with the wall, guys.
That's okay. That's another map entirely.
After a brief chat with the suits of armor, why not?
What's the pension like here? You good?
So, how'd you get those stains, pal? Too bad Strahd doesn't have a maid.
It's like
Look at all
a,
this stuff.
it's like the really dark
Okay.
version
I
of
could
the
use some
materialists in
Windex.
up here.
I can't see shit, Captain.
I haven't seen that yet.
You
I
will
don't
not.
think he's brought us to the new map yet.
You will not have seen shit, Captain, until I bring you to the
Okay.
next map, which I need to make sure.
That's
I
fair.
put
I
you
didn't know
on.
if we were already there.
No, that's fair. Yes. Okay. Let me just bring you to the correct. I have no idea where you're going here. Map 3 to map 4, not map 5. I brought you to the wrong map. Fuck. That's why.
It happens.
Wrong map, Captain. There we go. That's the right one. Okay. Let's zoom in there. You to the next map. Let me... Why did the lights... Did the lighting get all funky? Here, what happened to the lighting? There's no lighting on this map?
I
Oh,
don't
wait.
know. It's all black.
Hold on. I
Can't
think
see
I know
anything.
why.
Mine also hasn't shown a new map loading, so did you drag the ribbon?
I did drag the ribbon. Weird.
Did you shift ping us?
I will try dragging you again from map 4. Back here. Sorry, just refreshing here. Sorry, folks. There's a lot of maps, guys. This is a big fucking castle. All right. Let's try this again, map loader. Load with your maps. Come on, roll 20. Be nice to me.
Map, bitty, map, 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 map.
Thanks, Sarah. Way to break the tension.
I try.
Okay, let's go to map 4.
Map.
Map.
Did shift ping, so it
Following
should
you.
show up.
I still haven't shown a new map loading. Like, I haven't got the bringing you to a new map loading screen.
The fuck is going on? I have brought you to map 4, and yet you are not showing up in map 4.
Hmm?
You guys all have vision? You do have vision, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
We
Maybe
should.
not Louisa, because hers seems to come and go.
Yeah, you
but-
have vision. I don't know what's going on. This is the weirdest fucking thing ever.
No.
Ugh, come on, map.
I'm just going to ask a question that I've heard asked before that I have no idea what it means, but are we on the right layer?
Ooh.
Yes, you are on the
Okay,
token layer.
We're on the token layer?
Refresh the page, guys. It worked for me if I refreshed it.
Oh,
Okay, let me try refreshing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
gonna
I did at
refresh as
least,
well.
and it worked just fine.
Yeah, refresh for me worked.
okay.
Oh, there we are.
My ref.
Hey,
now I can see
it
All right,
worked.
That was it.
Yay. Who knew? Thank-
Huzzah.
thanks. Oh, God.
What can I accept you down?
What happened to the map? Oh, there it goes. Oh, my God.
Hey,
It's
creepy
going all over the
designated
goddamn
church.
place. Come on, map. Be kind to me. Jesus. Can't figure out
Oh
why.
wow!
Gonna-
I just saw it disappear on stream. Did you exit? It's weird. Your screen is throwing it everywhere because we can see it on stream, but
There we
mine
go. Oh my
is
god, this stupid
not moving.
Roll20 screen is killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Roll20 was having some issues for me earlier.
This does
so
not normally
Yeah,
happen,
maybe-
folks. I do
Yeah,
not
it's,
know
like,
what
really
the
sensitive if
fuck
you
is
try and drag
happening.
I'm watching Matt's screen and it's kind of hilarious.
Oh, it's
I've got
so
the stream
funny.
open and we can all see it.
Yeah.
As if we're not you.
Matt, can we see off this balcony?
Yes, you can.
So we
Jennifer's
can
eyes
see
gonna
the
twitch
desecrated chapel
slightly.
below us.
Yeah.
Oh,
gonna
thank
twitch
God.
slightly at how uneven these pews are.
I thank God. Oh, wait, I had it, and then it went away. Oh my God! Come on, Ravenloft, be
Clicking and
kind.
dragging is very sensitive on this map for some reason.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah, you just move like a centimeter
I
and
can't-
it's off the screen.
Oh my God. How about this? I'm just
Oh,
gonna
you're
shift
so
ping.
close.
If I shift ping,
The
Send
map
us-
is hot too.
there we go.
It's all like,
Jesus. Oh, you're such a
Move
diva,
for the
map.
arrows, friends. It's perfectly fine.
That literally drove me insane for like 2 straight minutes. Okay.
Are we going through the double doors, Matt?
So you are going through the double doors. Let's try this again.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to introduce you to this area. You've climbed up these stairs, and you see an area which sort of takes your breath away a little bit, because you are looking down from a balcony onto basically a desecrated chapel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a handout, which I think you'll enjoy.
There's a body down there.
There is a body of some kind next to the altar down there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you what this
Oh
chapel
God,
looks
I
like.
just did the map thing. No, come back.
This is what the chapel looks like, probably from the ground view.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's very pretty.
Really cool.
As you can
Matt,
see,
can you give us another shift ping? I did the same thing you did,
Shh, God damn it, Sarah! Don't be like me. It's fine.
but I learned it by watching you,
There.
Matt.
I shifty
learned it by
ping.
watching you.
There, I
Thank
done.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So the you guys can still see it, right?
Yeah.
The view of the chapel that you see below is
Mhm.
utter decrepitude. Cobwebs hang everywhere. The barest of light that would be from outside of some kind sort of streams through these horribly mangled and broken stained glass windows. And there is an altar close to these windows that is of some kind of dark gray stone. You see a robed skeletal figure draped over it. As if this was some kind of member of the clergy, this is certainly a place where he met his end.
Mm.
Of what significance this has to Strahd, one could only surmise. But Strahd seems to pay it no mind whatsoever, as if he finds no value, perhaps, in this place. Strangely enough.
Is it truly an altar that clergyman is leaning over, or might it be a coffin?
Well, make a perception check, would you? Would you mind carefully making a perception check?
What did I roll?
You
18.
see it. You rolled an 18. You actually saw a thing you didn't need to see.
When you were
she's
actually
seen it
looking, you
all.
actually saw something.
With an
Oh,
18,
For the first time ever.
you are pretty sure that unless there is a coffin somehow ensconced within that altar, it is very clearly just an altar.
Okay, great.
But yes, all the pews are askew, and sort of rotting wood has destroyed much of what you see below.
Okay. My second question is, I see all of the stained glass windows that some are broken, they're all boarded up or anything.
Mhm.
Normally, stained glass windows tell a story of some kind. Can I piece together the story that the stained glass windows are attempting to tell?
I would say make a religion check, Louisa.
Okay.
Can I make a religion check?
That's a natural one.
And that's a nat one.
Matt, can I
This
also
is
make a religion check?
obviously
What-
entirely fiction.
What is religion anyway? Right, Megan? What is it? If not for just a bunch
Never
of pictures.
served me.
Exactly. You can
Holy
certainly
water isn't even alcoholic.
attempt to do so. Yes. Go ahead, Ginnifer.
She's seeing like four of each window.
23.
A 23. Yes, you're a very religious individual, Ginnifer. Clearly. With a
I've
plus
just
7.
studied a lot of religious tomes, man.
Yeah, I think that you can piece together, even from the minuscule amount of visual accompaniment on these stained glass windows, that it does seem to have some iconography that seems to imply sort of, perhaps, beautiful, an icon of a very beautiful woman and a very handsome and regal man, as well as iconography of the sun, which is ironic, for certain.
Does the man in the glass resemble Strahd at all?
You can sort of see some facial resemblance, I think. Yeah. Not an exact replica, of course.
Of course. I was just curious.
Sure. But this sculpted stone railing, of course, because everything is lead proficient here, very OSHA compliant, that this railing encloses the balcony entirely, which overlooks this chapel. You see, right next to you, Ginnifer, that there are 2 ornate thrones, which stand side by side in the center of the balcony, and they are as well covered with dust and strung with cobwebs. However, they face away from these double doors behind you, and you're not positive. But in the darkness, feel like these chairs have someone in each of them. Feel like there's, even though you can't see anything sitting in these chairs, you feel like there's a presence, palpable presence in each of them.
Interesting.
Strahd continues and pushes open the double doors to the west.
Perfect. I'm going to follow him because I really want to hear what he has to say.
Oh my god, it did. I fucking hate this map. I swear to God, all I do is right click and move it, and it just moves it so far.
You gotta move so
You gotta be
slowly.
super duper.
I mean, I've just been moving with the arrows, and it's fine.
Yeah, that's good. That's just great. Thanks. He opens up another set of doors at the end of the hallway. He then moves to the end of this hallway, and you think to see very little to it. Zoom in just a smidge so y'all can see the kind of horrifying thing that is in this room, which is that the doors that he opens reveals another set of double doors at just ahead of you. But there is this 10-foot wide corridor stretching north to south, and at the end of the hall, as he moves towards it, there is floating in the darkness a human skeleton, clad in rusted armor and the tattered livery of a castle guard. Strahd moves confidently towards it, and then just sort of moves one of these skeletons hanging by wire, it seems, out of the way. And presses against the wall. Presses a brick up against the northern wall. And as he does so, the brick wall itself moves as if a secret door has been actioned and opens with his touch.
How interesting.
He walks through.
Nice touch.
This arched corridor that you see beyond has been swept completely clean. You see there is oak paneling decorating the walls to a height of about 4 feet. And mounted on the eastern wall above the wood paneling are 3 unlit oil lamps spaced 10 feet apart. There is a plain wooden door set into the western wall, and light seeps through its cracks. Strahd takes a moment to sort of listen at the door very briefly, and then continues on.
The castle is very vast, Old Strahd.
He says,
Quite impressive.
"It has its benefits, but it is a very lonely place."
Reminds me of home.
Strahd reaches the northern end of the hallway and then turns and begins to walk slowly a set of stairs. He says,
As he turns the corner, Moynat would like to take a second to listen at that door.
"Okay, make a perception check."
11.
You hear nothing.
Okay.
Can I also?
By all means.
Hey!
Natural 20.
22 in a row! Wait.
Um,
Did something happen to my passive perception powers? Are they on the fritz?
you hear a woman's voice humming quietly.
Do I recognize what she's humming?
Don't recognize the tune. I'd say with a natural 20, you realize that it is a younger woman's voice, but beyond that, no.
Just because he seems to know more about Ginnifer than she knows herself, and I've seen all 3 of the entities that we know live within her. It's not Loria or Amnestria's voice, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, great. Then Louisa will just log that away and
One of these days, Jenny will know.
walking.
Mhm. We're getting there.
I know.
You ascend the stairs, and I will move you yet again to another map. Copying and pasting you. Such a chore. Okay. Found it.
We're walking.
Yes, you're walking.
We're walking.
As we're walking, I think
we're stopping.
I think Ginnifer would kind of fall back to Louisa again.
Okay.
Sort of look to her and speak quietly. I asked Strahd to allow you back in the room. I presume you knew that.
I
Right?
heard.
I figured.
You
I do
find
appreciate it.
Well, he spoke of trust. And you are perhaps the only person I've met in some time that I can consider someone I trust.
I think Louisa just smiles. A little tiny smile at that. Good.
Almost here, folks. Sorry, apologies. Can't believe it's not loading. There we go.
I think, Ginnifer, if you look like into Louisa's eyes, you'll see that she's trying to convey a message to you without saying anything, which is that she's glad for that information, but she feels like we can't speak super freely here. So she's just like, good.
I'm going to refresh my screen. Go ahead and refresh yours, folks, because I have moved you to map 5, but it is a very big map. That is the problem with these maps is sometimes, especially when you're streaming, you want to refresh if you're not going to get through it. So let me see if... There we go.
Yep.
It looks good. There we go.
There we go.
Hello.
It was
Loading.
the loading screen message was
Yep,
stuck
there we
on
go.
experiencing a bout of madness.
Yep, that's about
This
right.
is so true.
Yep, that 100%.
Nice.
Is maddening. Some do. So, as you ascend these stairs, you do in fact spot a long hallway. And see if I can describe it to you. So here we are.
Looks a bit,
It does look a little bit, yeah, exactly. The alcoves that you see in the hallway are quite disturbing. The ceiling has clearly fallen in here, and it has left rubble strewn across the floor. As you look upward, you see the beams of Ravenloft's roof are actually exposed here. And lightning from the dark clouds above sporadically illuminates the hall, lighting the faces of life-sized human statues in the alcoves. And each visage of each one of these statues is frozen in terror.
Which wing of the castle are we in?
When you say wing, the castle itself is sort of one tower block that is split into two almost fang-like towers that jut up into the night sky. You would assume you are probably in the northernmost section, but you're still in the main sort of castle block, right? You're not in any of the towers.
Okay, so we wouldn't, even though we're with Strahd, we're not in the west wing, right? Because that was one of his rules, like, and I want to make sure we're not unwittingly breaking any rules, even though we are with him, because I don't want letter of the law here.
Yeah, I don't believe he said anything like.
him...
I don't think he said. Did he actually say don't go to the west wing? I don't remember him
don't
saying.
Go to. And my notes say don't go to the west wing / no trespass.
Oh,
so
it was more of we weren't allowed any place we didn't have permission to go.
Yeah,
because we're following Strahd.
Is that what it was? Okay,
that's
yes.
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, I don't think he specifically outlawed you from going to the west wing. It's a great show, by the way. You should definitely look into it. But don't.
It is a good show.
It's a great show.
Jed Bartlett forever.
For what? 100%. But yes, Strahd sort of picks his way through the rubble to the end of the hallway.
As we're moving through this hallway with Strahd, why not? We'll say, I find it interesting, Lord Strahd, that someone as refined as yourself has allowed his home to fall into such a state. I'm curious, is it that you just are not troubled by material things, or do you somewhat delight in decay?
He turns back towards you, and he says,
it's very hard to find good help these days.
She kind of raises her eyebrow and smirks, but doesn't say anything.
Just a little while longer.
And then he disappears around the corner. And he heads southward towards a doorway, which he opens, spilling a beauteous, warm, red light into the hallway. She enters.
This is quite nice. This is super pretty.
You see
Is that a giant fireplace?
It is a roaring fireplace.
Oh boy.
A massive
Okay, well, that
roaring
changes
fireplace.
So Moynat walks in the door, and at first she kind of looks around approvingly and nods and says, "Now this was more to my expectations." And then she spies the fireplace, her eyes go wide. And then she casually but somewhat stiffly makes her way around the room to the farthest possible location from the fire.
Understood. Let me give you a description of
Louisa
this
will
room.
just go and physically put herself between Moynat and the fire.
That
She doesn't even look at Moynat. She just is like, I'm just gonna stand here.
let me give you
And you hear a quiet, relieved exhale from behind you.
We're all here for each other. Let me give you a handout of what this place looks like.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, so many books.
Oh.
Don't
So
try to
pretty,
seduce me
also-
with the books.
100% yes hiding from that fireplace. IRL Sarah would be in the blue chair, but Moynat is far, far away.
Yes, you see some divans and some lounges and some.
His art is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
James's RPG art for the win. It's just FYI. James's RPG.
Okay.
Verbal shout out. They're great.
Who's the redhead?
Great question.
Yeah, that's my question.
So what you
So who do you
see.
More interested in the books, Amnestria or Ginnifer or Louisa?
Hmm.
I think it's probably a
Oh.
pretty even split. Jenny loves
Yeah.
books, but Louisa is a sage, if I recall, so...
A blazing hearth fire fills this room with rolling waves of red and amber light. The walls are lined with ancient books and tomes, their leather covers well oiled and preserved through careful use. All is in order here. The stone floor is concealed beneath a thick, luxurious rug. In the center of the room is a large low table, waxed and polished to a mirrored finish. Even the poker, in its stand next to the blazing fireplace, is polished. Large, overstuffed divans and couches are arranged about the room. 2 chairs of burgundy-colored wood, with padded leather seats and back cushions, face the hearth. A huge painting hangs over the mantelpiece in a heavy, gilded frame. The roiling firelight illuminates this carefully rendered portrait. Who it depicts, however, is unknown to you. Strahd enters and stares at the portrait above the fireplace. And I'd like you all to make insight checks.
Oh, here we go. Don't fail me now. Let's go. Oh, fuck.
Sorry, Mikmick, and sorry, Louisa.
Ooh, but Ginny.
Hey, Ginny.
I have a 0 insight.
This is Ginny's night for information of lots of different kinds, giving and receiving. With a
Insight is my best skill, and it's so crazy.
the dice tell a story, right? It was Ginnifer's,
I
I
know,
think,
they really
worst
do.
skill, right, with a +0, and yet she rolled a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ginnifer, I think that you see in Strahd a look that you wouldn't necessarily have associated with him, considering his sort of nobility and charm, and suavity that he just exudes. You see a look in his eyes of remorse, coupled with longing. I think that's what you get from a natural 20.
All right.
Strahd
I
immediately sort of spies you looking at him, and his his visage changes, and he says,
Please, make yourselves calm.
Very
Sit.
well. I will take a seat.
Moynat will perch on the edge of the sofa here.
Strahd motions at the door, and it closes by itself. Let me see if I have something. I am going to add one piece of audio, which is sort of a little bit more ambiance. Yes, exactly. That's what I want.
It's gonna be a crackling fire.
It's gonna be a crackling something. Hold on.
By the way,
Wants to make
no one
Moy
can
not
really
as uncomfortable as
see.
possible. It's cool.
No one can really see my ambient video that I've got going on in the background, but it is.
It's a crackling
very
fire.
Your living room
close
fireplace.
it's a crackling
little
fire
fireplace.
with like a spooky kind of like study setting. So
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I nailed it.
I feel like in the summertime, you should switch it to like a
Ocean?
stormy beach or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally I do. It's just this, since we were going to be in Castle Ravenloft tonight, I was like, Mac actually found it. He was like, this seems
Felt
to like set
appropriate.
the scene for you. Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like it.
Let me drop in my fireplace, because I know I have a fireplace. Go.
I do think Ginnifer would keep that information to herself. And sort of look around the room. Maybe change the subject to something else in the room. Glance around the books. When we are done speaking.
Mr. Strahd, would you happen to have a pipe that I could use? It seems like this is the environment that requires a pipe.
He says, I admit to many vices. That, however, is not one of.
Matt, you're all crackly.
Yeah, you're going all max headroom.
You're gone, robot.
Oh no! Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Is
Oh,
Discord?
yeah, you're good.
Okay,
That's
Discord.
better.
Discord, how dare you? He says, let's try this again. He says,
I admit to many vices, but that is not one.
Well, I'll just go without then. It just seemed like this is the environment that you would light a pipe in, but I can deal with it. I'll just sit here, watch the fire.
Once we've spoken,
Yeah,
would
go
you be amenable to us looking through any of the books in your study?
If you so desire, I have over 1,000 unique tomes in all. You are more than willing to read them, but they are mine in this room.
I understand.
Strahd sits
And says, if I may indulge you with a tale. This is a tale of the one we spoke of. This Azalin Rex. Let me see. Yes, it was 200 years ago when I first met him. I had been a vampire for a mere century when this Lich King arrived in Barov. He was fleeing from the wrath of his own people, from a land which I determined later was called Knorr. Does not have the same ring of my own land, does not. When Azalin emerged through the mists, I at once realized that his magic far surpassed my own amateur attempts. But the mage was weakened by strife and knew nothing of my land. A land which I, of course, at the time and still can bend to my very will. I thought perhaps we could learn something from one another. His prowess granted my grudging respect, and so taught me what he knew. In exchange, Azalin sought my aid in escaping the misty borders of Barovia, hoping that if he left the land, he would escape the strange malady that seemed to plague him. You see, although the Lich was powerful, while in Barovia, he could not learn new magic. I recall that at first Azalin attempted to escape the barriers of Barovia several times. The first attempt was with me.
Strahd's laugh sounds at both very strange and unbecoming, but it does seem very natural in a way. That he's actually reaching back into his memories, which seem pleasing to him, at least in the outward sense.
The arcane act took us both to another demi-plane. But after disaster struck the attempt, he betrayed me, fleeing into the mists and emerging into a realm all his own. Darkon. A new realm created by the dark powers, designed to torment the Lich King. Yes, like I to Barovia, this domain was his to rule, but it was also his prison. Azalin could reign absolutely over Darkon. His magical might brought the peoples of that land under his power. He ruled with ruthless efficiency and yet kept his own nature as a lich, secret from everyone else. Azalin prefers to hide in the shadows, to let those below him.
His eyes flicker to Ginnifer.
Carry on his will, and keep his domain as docile and unresisting as a beaten dog. With nothing left to do, and no new spells to learn, Azalin was confronted with his own lack of purpose. His never-ending thirst for something more. Perhaps this led him to try to escape yet again. Only 100 years ago, he tried to manipulate a magical grand conjunction of planes by sending a group of heroes, not unlike yourselves, back in time to steal artifacts from the formation of the domains of dread. And though he split open the demi-planes like a stuck pig, and might have unleashed all of the Dark Lords, it was Azalin's arrogance and hatred for me that undid his efforts, imprisoning us all once more in the lands of the mists. Azalin is always seeking to escape, to be able to once again learn a new magic, to unlock the mysteries in the lands of shadow. And now it seems he experiments with artifacts that could undo all reality. But I have spoken much.
He sits back and looks at the four of you for any questions or comments.
The domain you visited with Azalin. Which domain was it?
It's Darkon, of course.
Just so I'm understanding correctly, you said that the name of the land that Aslan came from was Knorwal?
Knurl. I believe it is spelled Knurl. Dreadful word. It reeks in my mouth as I speak it.
And forgive my lack of knowledge when it comes to geography, but is that where Ilaluk would have been?
I do not believe Il-Aluk was a land solely of his own city. It was created when he stepped into the mists with me. The entirety of Darkon was created when he and I attempted to escape. Il-Aluk was not a city from this land from which she came.
And the apparatus.
Ah, you come to it. How much do you know of it?
Well, I have these sketches in my spell book. Ginnifer would take out the sketches that Devon did, along with some notes that he scribbled. And my understanding.
He takes a look at it just peripherally, and then looks back at you, Ginnifer.
My understanding is the apparatus is responsible for the state I'm in. That's what I was told, because it could help me bring my sister back.
To a certain degree, I would agree with that statement.
However,
the inability for Azalin to learn new magics is the very reason why you are in your predicament as it currently stands. He cannot cast any spell that he does not already know or learned in his life or on life. And requires greater magical artifacts to perform feats for which he cannot attain. You were an experiment, I believe you would call it.
Jennifer's going to frown very deeply at that phrase.
What is his obsession with performing new magics?
Strahd turns to you and says,
You are a warrior of a kind, I'd say, based on your physical fitness or implements. Am I wrong?
No.
Oh.
I think I understand that.
No, I meant no, you're not wrong.
Oh, no, I was like, yeah, he's like, wait, what?
Yeah, no. I was like, oh, wait, I see the confusion there.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So he nods. He doesn't look confused. He nods and he says,
You have studied much in your time on how to improve your abilities. Have you not? To make you a stronger warrior, to make you a stronger defender of the people that you love. Yes?
Yes.
Magic is a tool. It is an ever-expanding net that you will be likening to someone who would use a variety of words to create a sonnet. Without a lexicon of words, what is your poetry? Without knowledge of music, where is your symphony? Without knowledge of your abilities, where can you defend your people?
And without the ability to learn new spells, where is your passion for that craft?
This one knows of what I speak.
I have learned many spells in my short lifetime.
Imagine your lifetime multiplied by 1,000, and tell me of the inexorable fury and horror, the frustration that you would feel at not being able to grow with an interminable life. A life unending.
Sounds as though you speak from experience.
Strahd says to you, he's sort of, his eyes flicker very briefly to the portrait above the fireplace, and he says,
There is always a way to obtain what we want.
If we're willing to pay the price, that is.
Which does bring me to my question. I assume you are not sharing this information with us purely of your own goodwill, so what exactly is it that you want us to do with it?
Allow me to finish my tale, and then I will grant you the knowledge of that particular facet of my favor.
She nods.
Azalin Rex, ever the schemer, the arrogant little wizard, scribbling away in his crumbling tower of obsessions. Although we have much in common, you would think that undeath would temper his desperation. No, no, no. It only fed it. He believed himself a prisoner here, in a shared cell. And unlike myself, who embraced Barovia, he clawed at every wall, seeking cracks in the demi-planes of dread. And so in his ceaseless tinkering with magic, Azalin caught a fleeting glimpse, a brush of clarity into the very nightmare logic that binds us all. He saw the truth. The demiplanes do not merely trap us. Oh no. They feed on us, reshaping themselves, rewriting themselves to better torment us. His clever little escape attempts. All part of the joke. And the punchline, well, that is his failure. Always. So, realizing the futility of it all, instead of looking forward, Azalin turned his gaze backward to Barovia's earliest days, to my past. The one he dare not speak of in my presence. There he saw a name most should forget.
At which he stands up and his cloak sort of billows behind him and says a word which, although he perhaps does not mean it to have such a resonance, does in fact send trembles through all four of you.
Osibus. The lich who dreamed himself a god. And almost achieved it. His apotheosis was forged in a strange amber material, the very same material that holds the ancient vestiges of evil beneath Mount Gakis in the Amber Temple. Somehow, the amber freed Osibus from the demiplane's iron logic. And when Azalin discovered this, his rotted mind latched onto this hope. He would split himself. Not destroy. Divide. He could not be cursed as a Dark Lord if he was no longer himself, no? And so his solution in those dark days was to find an artifact that could perform this rite of division. In doing so, discovered the apparatus, an abominable machine. And in doing so, created a sarcophagus of pure amber. He fashioned this sarcophagus around his very castle of Avernus, building his monument to his own arrogance, and so the deed as he thought it was done. He flipped the proverbial switch, and Castle Avernus exploded, tearing itself from the earth and flaring into unending soul fire. Darkon wept. Thousands died. And the apparatus shattered into a loop of destruction and rebirth. His castle forever frozen in that moment. And Azalin ceased to be. He disappeared from that plane of existence, and in his place were two entities. One The raw will, malevolence incarnate, the very soul of Azalin Rex, confined in a reddish, inky form, no longer bound of blood or bone, but able to slither into minds and bodies. He called it a necricor. And he named it Darkalos Rex. A name whose association I do not understand, other than it is only one part of his soul. The other, a simple mortal man. Weak, fragile, free. Taking on the name of his persona before he became an undead king. The name Firan Zalhonen.
Zalhonen.
You know it, yes. Where there was one, there is now two. Aslin was unshackled, yes, but he was not whole. And the demiplane, the domains of dread, are not things to be wounded lightly. They take their vengeance with great wrath. The explosion at this hour of ascension did not merely scar Darkon. No, it shook the foundations of that world. And all other worlds as well. Reality itself twisted. Domains changed. Where was once a beautiful paradise, there was now a twisted swamp or morass. Where once resided a king, now there were perhaps two. Where once the land was fruitful, it now rotted and festered. Logic itself unraveled and rewove itself in mad patterns. Lamordia, a land which I understand you have recently visited, froze itself into sterile rigidity. Demolieu, yes, I know, your home. That farce of a society forgot entire years of its own history. Each realm stitched back together by the dark powers, ever eager to make us dance their little waltzes. Yet even this was not enough for Azalin. For he learned the truth. To truly ascend, the apparatus must survive. The rods of Rastinon and Hutras, ancient tools of balance and madness, they must not merely be used as the keys, but as tempers to the apparatus's balance. So he sought their power. He stole designs from a world known as Eberron, a world of gears and dragons, and reforged the apparatus with adamantine ripped from the ocean's bones, bought with divine promises that he had no intention of keeping. Firan Zalhonen walked the realms, whispering, bartering in his quiet way, while Darkalos Rex moved like a plague of spirits, taking what he needed with the hands of others. Together, or rather apart, they gathered the tools for a final ritual. Not merely to escape this prison in which we find ourselves, but to transcend it, to become what Osibus could not be. A god.
Strahd looks forlornly at the floor and realizes that his eyes have been tearing this whole time. He wipes a tear from his cheek.
Must excuse me. I tend to become very stuck in these tales. But now the pieces are all in place. The pawns have moved.
He looks at the four of you.
The knights and bishops have played their roles. And the king has called his checkmate. It is up to you to see if Azalin can truly cheat this game. Or if, like all of us, our fates are simply pieces on a board to be played.
And Strahd, very much unlike himself, at least for the last 5 or 6 minutes, stops talking.
I thought you said there was always a way to get what you want. What do you want? Us to kill him? To talk to him? To help him? Where do you stand in all this?
Wish to survive like I have for the last 328 years. I know that if Azalin ascends, he will take the domains and all those within it with him. And we will all cease to be.
I too would like to survive. Suppose that puts us on the same side.
You have knowledge of his plans now.
You have something that I do not.
Mobility.
Although I would say that your allies are somewhat questionable. If we ally with each other, then the enemy of my enemy is my friend, as the saying goes.
Do I believe this story of his version of the event?
Make an insight check.
$21.
Every single word.
Oh boy.
Mr. Strahd.
You may call
Very fine.
me Count von Zarovich if you prefer to be more formal.
Mr. Bonzarovich.
Count
If I...
von Zarovich, do not tempt my fury.
Alright then. Count. Sorry, I'm not used to this formality. I just wanted to ask, on a small part of what you just said, you and Azalin attempted to leave the domain. So I just wanted to ask, is it possible to leave the domain?
It is possible, yes.
That's all I need to know.
For some,
His eyes flit to that painting above the fireplace.
Does the woman in the painting look Vistani to me?
Her garb is not Vistani. She wears a very beautiful gown, certainly of a sort of an upper class look to it. Vistani wear, peasant blouses and very vibrant colors. But no, her garb does not. Her skin is very is beautiful. It's flawless. She has a beautiful reddish, dark reddish sort of mane of hair that floats over her shoulders.
so I have spoken my piece. Now you know of my history with this being. You also know that one in your very company is linked to him.
That may not necessarily be a bad thing.
There
If
are
he
also know that
believes
he came to
he
her.
controls her. Well, if he believes he controls her, and she is certain that he does not, we can use his certainty again. We can use his belief against him.
Is she so certain that he does not?
That I can't answer, only she can. And even if he does control her, at least at this point, we know we could take precautions. It's harder to be stabbed in the back if you're looking over your shoulder. What do you think, Ginnifer? Does he control you?
I don't know what to think.
Surely you're thinking something.
I'm thinking a lot of things right now.
Never thought I'd have to pry something out of you. Ponder for a moment on how to do that.
May I ask a question that might be considered impertinent?
I will allow it.
I thank you. The portrait. Is that the woman in the other room?
He smiles. He says,
Oh,
Do I believe that?
you can make an insight check.
15.
You're pretty confident he's telling the truth, although you feel like he's potentially hiding something with such a sort of trite answer.
Okay.
cards are on the table, as they say. I know that you are allied with Rudolf van Richten, a man who I cannot abide, as well
Nor
as
can I.
the great detective Alanic Ray. Men
I
who
can assure you that Rudolf van Richten is no friend of mine.
Then we are in accords already. The man is nefarious.
I am well aware.
But
My relationship with Alana Gray is purely transactional. It was employment, I suppose.
would you consider
And much like Ginnifer, I do not consider Vandrickton to be anything remotely near a friend.
God, no.
Strahd says, then you would consider perhaps a more lucrative employer.
Perhaps. This world does require money.
Of that I have no doubt.
I want to survive, and I will stand on whatever corner offers me the best chance of that. Been around longer than you have. I'd like to stay that way.
We have much to learn from one another, do we?
If you could say so.
What of the rest of you?
This is quite a lot to take in.
I apologize for the great detail that I have lent to you over the last 20 minutes. But it was important to impart it.
I
Yes, it
understand.
was.
Think of me not as a benefactor, but think of me as a partner in your survival. Of course, this information must be kept from those who have more conservative states of mind, shall we say. Allying yourself with me in their minds would be anathema, betrayal of the highest degree. So it shall be our little secret? Yes? You sit there like dumb statues. If I have taken your tongue like the cat from the canary.
I've made my position clear.
That I know. The other three I am not so certain.
In all honesty, we can say that we're using you as a font of information that we have gathered. We may not be allies, but we can use what you have told us. However, we will need time to gather all that information and think on it, and think on how we want to react. We don't want to run in there, well, as an old saying would go, we don't want to run in there with our pants out.
This saying is unknown to me,
Alludes to me.
but I
Don't wanna run in
understand
there
its
without thinking.
meaning, yes.
In other
Yeah. If you wish to peruse your thoughts and debate whether or not I am a ally or simply, as you call me, a font of information, That is your task to have. But I will tell you this. I require loyalty. Those who have expressed loyalty to me have benefited by my hand. Those who have betrayed me have suffered a very long and agonizing existence.
May I ask one question, then?
Feel free.
You've met the other that I share this form with. Is what Aslan did to himself possibly what he convinced me to do to myself?
I will ask of you the same question, Ginnifer. What need have you asked that of me?
Amnestria cannot. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You said she was an experiment. Perhaps what happened to you and Loria is what he's hoping to do to the two halves of himself. You were the trial run, as it were.
Bringing two personalities into one. You were the guinea pig, as they would say.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think that's quite true.
How so?
I think Amnestria was the surprise.
What do you mean
Oh,
by
yes.
that?
I mean, Ginnifer, Loria is still in there. I've seen her.
So you're saying that there are three.
Yes. I've only seen her the one time, and I wasn't really sure what I was seeing, but the more I think on it, the more I'm quite convinced it was Loria.
And the soul of your dear departed sister still resides somewhere within that body. A prize, perhaps, for a good deed done in the name of your master.
Or perhaps his final card to play in holding you hostage.
It does have a delightfully sadistic ring to it.
And Amnestria?
What of her?
Perhaps she's a bit of each of you.
And a surprise to all.
From what I have understood in your relationships, this is not a welcome one. She is an amalgamation. An off-putting sideshow freak.
She's welcome to some of us here.
To each their own.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any idea why she might have my memories? Why she might know things she shouldn't?
Perhaps a side effect of the magics weaved. Perhaps something great. A connection between you and your sister. You are twins, are you not?
Yes.
The bond
Yes,
between
we are.
twins is an inexplicable one. When one feels pain or remorse, oftentimes the other twin feels it in return. The souls are linked.
And when she comes back out, what exactly are each of you going to do?
Sorry, did you mean us? I don't see
I
why my
do.
attitude towards her would change. Why would it?
Because she cannot lie.
Yes, and that has been deeply annoying since the moment I met her, but... What, you think I'm going to kill her for it all of a sudden?
That is not what I mean. I mean, if what has been said is all true, if she knows any of it, she cannot lie about it.
Well, then
But in the
I'll
same...
Simply make sure she doesn't have to. She generally doesn't remember any of your memories when she wakes up.
So we keep her in the dark? That...
If we must, it's entirely possible we will not see Alanik. Or Van Richten, or anyone else that we are required to light. There is also the simple matter that, well, Alanik at least may realize that survival breeds interesting bedfellows. Van Richten, though, I'm not entirely sure about. It seems strange that he was so helpful to Hafiz, and that he was instrumental in what happened to you, Ginnifer. Not that I trusted him before, but I trust him even less now. It is entirely plausible that he and Hafiz are aligned in this purpose. Maybe Van Richten thinks he can ascend too, or perhaps thinks himself immune to destruction. Who knows? I wouldn't tell him anything anyway. Alanik, on the other hand, seems logical enough to understand that an alliance with the Count may prove beneficial to all of us if survival is the primary goal, which for myself it certainly is.
I agree with that. Survival for us, and for survival for those that we care about. All right, Count, you've convinced me.
Have I now?
You have.
I would require the other two of you for a full set. Yes? I think I will start with the one perhaps easier to crack than the other. They call you Mikmick. Do they not
They do.
remind me of a friend downstairs that has been loyal to my family for generations? But you have perhaps more personality than him.
I was going to ask you about that, but
You speak with
we'll
such
do
a
that for
very low voice. You must speak up, young man.
I was meaning to ask about that thing, but that will be better for another time. And
This may be
if we
the
are
only
laying,
time that you have, my little constructed friend.
though, I will lay out my cards on the table as I see them. In all frank and honesty, I just want to go home. That means getting out of the domain, which is why I asked you. If you can help me do that, then I'll be more than willing to help you out.
It is not my decision as to whether or not you can leave all of the domains, little man. Only my own.
But as I said, if you can assist me in doing that in any way, I'll be willing to help.
Ally yourself
Absolutely.
with me and you may come and go as you wish.
That's as good a deal as any I'll get, I think.
Excellent. And finally, to you, Ginnifer. Tell me your thoughts, tell me your feelings, tell me your hopes, your desires, your wishes. I wish to know every inkling within that beautiful dark heart that you carry within your breast.
I have been used by people all my life. I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point. But if I'm being blunt about things, this is all very overwhelming. You should know that Aslan has spoken to me recently and asked me to betray each of them. Something I do not believe I am willing to do at this point in time. So I suppose I'm at an impasse, aren't I? He has power over me. Something I cannot stop. And yet I don't quite want the world to be destroyed because I live in it. And as bad as many of the people in my life have been to me, there are at least some who have tried to help me. Ginnifer looked over at Louisa. So what am I to do with that? If Aslan does have a hold on me, what power do I have to stop him from that?
I will not tell you, Ginnifer, what you should do. I will only say this. Power is what you take for yourself. Whether those who defy you or those who ally themselves with you give you what you desire, your power is your own. Take it. And leave nothing in your wake.
Those are very wise words. Someone as wise as you are, I suppose. I think it's time that I do just that then. And if I end up betraying all of you, well, I do.
Then we'll just kill you.
I think you'll find that very difficult. But you're certainly
not?
welcome to try.
Suppose we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Wait, we already did burn a bridge.
A few, actually.
Yeah.
More than a few.
At any rate, there's no sense worrying about whether or not you'll betray us until you do, but at least... Well, at least we know the possibilities there.
Also,
can't
if
do
there's
anything
anything I
without risk.
trust,
Ginnifer is our biggest risk. But if we want to get through this, we have to deal with that risk.
if there's anything that I do trust, it's that Ginnifer will do what is in her own best interest. And as of right now,
Her best interest is survival.
My best
Yes,
interest
but
has always been survival.
And
Well,
we
in
can
this
work with that.
particular moment, all of our survival is linked, meaning your best interest aligns with ours.
You are correct in that.
sounds familiar, no?
Strahd sort of
My, how we all come full circle.
he stands up. He sort of looks a little uncomfortable for a second. He says,
Since my waking time comes near to an end, I must rest. I
As
would
must we all.
offer you a boardings here within my castle, but I fear that you would not prefer that. This place is old and holds many dark secrets. Often those secrets find ways out of their little hidey holes to skulk about, finding energies and life elsewhere.
Well, when you put it like that,
Fortunately,
Can you...
Ginnifer has made us some accommodation just outside town. Maybe we can go back to that.
Can your carriage return us there?
Oh yes, of course. By all means. Simply descend the stairs in the same fashion as you...
he sort of looks a little discomforted for a second. He says,
in the same fashion that you ascended them. I must leave you. Oh, I trust you will find your way out. I bid you
We will
all
follow
yes.
the exact route in which you led us here.
bid you all to think deeply on what I have said. Those of you who have chosen my path, I welcome your alliance. Those of you uncertain, understand, without me, you would all dead. Or worse. I bid you all good morning.
And Strahd motions towards the door, which opens, and he strides out.
As he goes to leave, Moynot wants to catch up to him in the hallway.
Okay,
Taking a shot.
fantastic.
Not quite. Because,
I know.
but just going to say, my Lord Strahd, a moment, if you will.
He turns to you. His eyes are sort of bloodshot. His face looks very sort of pale, very sharply defined features.
Yes.
I see you are in need of rest. I won't take much of your time. But you said something very interesting at dinner this evening. You compared yourself to Ginnifer and said that she wanted something she couldn't have. Meaning you want something you can't have. And then you spoke of how Aslan Rex was something you could call an equal. And that's when it hit me. That's the thing you want, can't have. An equal. And you're right. You can't have that. But you could have a friend. Good morning. And she turns and goes back into the study to the others.
Strahd's eyes trace you as you walk back, and he whispers something under his breath. Make a perception check, Moynot, because you're the only one close enough to hear it.
My passive can't pick it up.
No, he's in the hallway, baby.
14,
I
not my
moved.
best.
I'm over by Jenny.
You know what? You're like, huh? What's the person saying? What's the
I mean, Louisa probably looked at Lemoy as she walked out the door, chasing after.
Tell you what, it's more like
Right.
reading lips at this point, Louisa. Like the.
I have observant.
Yeah, that's fair.
She
Okay.
does.
So go ahead and make a perception check. Let's see what you can garner from your lip reading.
Third tries the charm? Come on.
Oh,
Aw,
balls.
there we go.
Nope.
And we're back.
And
Wait, how
we're
is it only a
back,
plus 4 when your passive is like 19?
Well, passive is different from an
'cause
active
when I
perception
built-
check, right? So
Also, when I built
but her
Louisa, I
passive is
thought
so
I thought I was gonna go a completely different direction. So I put some proficiencies into some stuff that I shouldn't have. So
Yeah, she's.
Oh, okay.
You don't have proficiency in
that
perception.
caused you to have a high passive even without having proficiency? Interesting.
well, because
I wisdom.
observant knocks your passive perception
does
up a lot.
it?
Observant
Yeah,
and high
resilient.
wisdom.
Like I took
That's what I want.
resilient, like all of that, and then I should have like put stuff into perception, but instead I chose like Arcana for some reason.
I mean,
like
Jenny has
Because we
proficiency in
all pick
perception.
at
She's
least
got like a
one
17.
random skill when we're
Alright.
creating
Yeah.
characters.
So whatever it is that Strahd has whispered at the trailing form of Moynot is lost on the wind, and that the door shuts
I
behind
figured a
him.
14 wasn't gonna get it.
And I think with that, we're gonna go to break.
okay.
So when we come
Oh,
back
good, 'cause
from
it's so
break,
hot.
it is hot. It's hot with your scarf on. I'm
the
surprised.
scarf.
Take that scarf off.
Oh god.
So when we come back from break, more Ravenloft Domains of Dread. We'll see what happens now that you guys are leaving Castle Ravenloft with the knowledge
We also
garnered.
did get a raid during
We
that.
did. We
Heck
got
yeah.
a raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Yeah.
From
Raiders.
Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have a fun time. We'll see you guys in a little bit, 5, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. I don't know. However long it takes for us to get a drink and then come back. So come back in a few minutes. We'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, we are back, folks. Thanks for waiting. I got myself a Waterloo Black Cherry Sparkling Water.
Oh, look at you.
They're so good. This stream sponsored, hopefully, one day by Waterloo Sparkling Water.
Oh, I was hoping by ABBA,
I mean-
but okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
so
I got
wrong.
some
other
good old
people
New
than
York
that.
City tap water over here.
That's good.
It's delicious.
Same.
So, What is it, now that Strahd has left your presence, that you wish to do?
Get as far away from the fire as possible.
Fair,
So Muadnhait
fair.
is in a corner, kind of half-heartedly looking at books, mostly so she has an excuse to turn her back to the fire and not look at it.
Cool.
Louisa moves over next to Ginnifer, because she knows she just dropped a bombshell on her. But I don't think she's gonna actually say anything. She's just going to take a seat next to Ginnifer and let Ginnifer have her space to process and not push, but she's there if Ginnifer wants to say anything to her.
How about
okay, would kind of just sit there quiet. Okay.
No. It's whatever Mikmick and Ginnifer are doing. I'm dying to find out.
I am humming as Muadnhait.
Okay.
Mikmick's just staring into the fire, just trying to remember home.
At least he's not sticking his hands in the fire again. That was a thing for a while.
I mean, you can't feel the heat from the fire. So.
That's like
But
half
you can
the fucking
still
joy of
burn.
It can still burn, but I can't feel the heat.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least your eventual death will be painless.
Mikmick, please. I really don't want the smell of burnt skin fill up the entire thing that Ginnifer has created, so perhaps keep skin out of the fire today.
But yeah, he's just staring into the fire at the moment, just sitting on a chair staring into the fire.
Okay. Then in that case, it was a remembrance of what has happened before. So, like, please not again.
It happened to Barovia
Right.
too. This time.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still here for a reason, or can we go?
If that's what you want, we can go.
What, you guys don't want to go, like, poking around the spooky old castle for finding cool shit and looting the bodies?
Perhaps.
Unless, of course,
I've learned my lesson.
Muadnhait like hears the poutiness in Jennifer's voice and just says, "Unless, of course, there's something you'd like to talk about or do, Ginnifer, you have been uncharacteristically quiet."
Thought you'd appreciate that more.
Oddly enough, I do. But you seemed testy, and it's a long carriage ride, so... Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, the whole traitor business was something I wanted to tell you in the tower. I
Yes.
was afraid that if I had not had all the pieces and tried to tell you, that you may not believe me.
Ginnifer, you may be many things that I find irritating, but you're also exceptionally intelligent. Why would I not believe you?
If you didn't, you may have turned on me. And then I would have had to accept it as a steal. What he wants from me.
What does he want from you?
He wants me to help him destroy this world. And to free him from this place.
Ah.
Well, Ginnifer,
Well,
I know.
suppose you
that-
have a choice.
I know that trust very clearly doesn't come easy to you, nor does it to me, but at this point I think we've made it fairly clear that insofar as it comes to am I going to try to murder you in your sleep, the answer is no. Because if I was going to do that, I would have done it.
Probably about 6 times.
We don't have to. We don't have to like each other in order to trust one another.
I suppose that's fair. I do like some of you more than others.
That's perfectly normal.
Louisa just smiles in everyone's favorite.
I know that smile. I know that smile. My kid has that smile. He's like,
it's a new experience for Louisa. She's never been anyone's favorite. So she's like, I think she means me.
I mean, to be fair, you are the only person who's actually bothered to listen to me. I'd walk away just with me. I understand I monologue a bit. But you must understand, I was stuck in my own head for several years. I was in a padded room with no one to talk to. Different voices in my head. Thinking I had
And
one
the voices
crazy.
are outside your head.
Loria was the only person I ever had to talk to before. Benedictine rarely gave me the time of day. Why, I became a wizard. It was the only thing I could do. Prove myself useful. Since I was not gifted the same skills as my sister. And it seems someone took advantage of that.
Well, I know that our dear Count told you to take the power for your own, but I would think that as a wizard you would know that knowledge is power. And you have that knowledge now.
I do. And unlike a certain someone, I can learn new spells.
Yes, you can.
This may sound
Are we all
uncharacteristic. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, are we all warm and fuzzy enough? Can we go? And she's just looking at the fireplace like I need to get out of here before I start screaming.
that is
Yes,
fair-
fine. We cannot be near the fire. I know you are bothered by it, so
Indeed, I
Yeah.
am. Right, I'll just meet you all at the carriage. And she's out.
Let's
she's
go.
just like shooing out the door, has taken as much time in that room as she can handle.
There are, I mean, it's worthwhile stating there is a door here, right? You can just open the door here. But there are other doors, too. There's these doors here, there's these doors here, there's a couple
Don't tempt
Nope.
us.
No,
That's the
I-
title of the episode. The title of the episode, Louisa, is The Tempter. I'm trying to make the title of the episode well, I mean, Strahd has kind of acted
He's
as
trying to make Fathos Fathos.
I know,
What he's trying
but
to
Maeve
do.
is a completionist, and we can't have that right now.
12
most
maps, Matt.
un-
12
un-
maps.
Under most circumstances, you would be correct. However, first and foremost, I am not fucking Amnestria right now. So I don't need to take out a crowbar and open up doors. And second, Ginnifer knows more than enough about Strahd to know let's not wander around his fucking castle without his permission.
Yes.
So let's leave.
Okay. Okay.
For like the first and probably only time in this entire campaign, we are acting responsibly.
Wow.
Yeah.
It only took 3
Literally.
years for us to get
Oh
here.
God, Red's been super quiet for too long. Are you still with us? Are you still? Is Mikmick in the room with us right now? Or-
Can I talk to Mikmick now?
If he dies and he ends up as a voice in Jenny's head, she's gonna be so fucking
So
pissed.
many voices. So many voices. Yeah, no, I remove from you the title of Fafos and put in a new title, Risk Managers. You guys are now the Risk Managers. I just want you to know that.
Oh, come on.
The
One
risk
smart
assessment
decision does not a
coordinators.
personality change make.
It's true.
My company, one of the things that it says in my company is we are all risk managers.
Under new management.
Yes.
Risk managers under new management.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. They're OSHA. That is 100% correct. They're OSHA right now. All right. So you guys are all heading back down to the main courtyard, yes? No pit stops, no changes of direction, just straight on the narrow all the way back down, yeah?
And if I see anyone swerve or get distracted,
Zoop.
there's
Come on
like
back
just
here.
an immediate yank.
Yep. Mhm. All right. Fair.
It's like, not tonight. I
Nope.
gotta sleep.
Nope.
Mama needs to sleep.
Yep. Not today, Satan. Okay, so we're gonna go and move you guys then to the map where you started, which was the
Huzzah!
opening map, and you will be outside in the not so much dawn per se, but definitely the light is of a greater
pre-dawn
yes,
glow.
exactly, the pre-dawn glow. If you want to call it that, certainly just a lightening of the sky through the mists that you hear. That you see outside.
I mean, if we want to be cursed, guys, we can go back to the Amber Temple and get more fucking dark gifts, okay?
Do it. Do it. Don't tempt me. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear them say, yes, I would like to have more cursed shit. I want to be rife with curses. I want to have them wriggling through my whole body. Yes.
We know
I mean, I'm
that
sure
there's still some spider goddess there that is probably a little miffed that she got turned down.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go back. It could be fun, guys.
All right, let me
Who,
go ahead
what,
and
where, when, how? I was
Ref-
distracted.
refresh this page.
Oh, I gotta do
Well,
it
I
too because
mean,
it's also not letting me.
Technically, the first time we heard the name of Cybus was in the Amber Temple, so not a terrible idea to go back there.
Correct. That is the first time that you heard the word Osiris.
Hey, got
the
the
name.
Wait, no, I've got that name in my fucking notes.
You
so.
do?
You
have
do
that name.
because you got that name
Remember, you had
from
a
the Amber
vision.
Temple. You got your mouth
Yes,
hands.
You had a
that's
vision.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
His true name.
Just saying, we could go do that if we want to go Fatfoot, guys.
I want to go to sleep.
Well, there we go. These are,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I'm just being
Osiris shed his mortal form and became one with the lands. Many years later, Azul Rex, ruler of Darkon, wanted to escape too, using the same incantations. Something about a grand conjunction, great sundering of all lands in the domains of dread. Some disappeared, but Azul Rex found a way through the Shadow Rift and out.
The lore. It makes sense.
And
Yes.
I've been wearing his Ouroboros snake amulet since, like, the beginning of the campaign.
Sarah,
Yeah.
I have been waiting 3 years for you. 3 years. I'm not shitting you. I have been waiting 3 years for you to recognize the seeds that I planted at the very beginning, which are now coming to fruition. God, am I glad that you picked up that necklace.
I've been here the
You're
whole
welcome.
time. I mean, not really. I came in at like
You came
episode
in-
14.
yeah, you came in like a few months in. That's cool.
But this whole notebook is full of
My God,
notes.
I want you to show
Oh,
me.
I only have this many pages left.
I want at SliceCon.
We need
I
to
want to
finish
see
before
your
this
notes.
book.
Can you
Yes,
bring your
bring
can
it.
you
Yeah.
bring your notebook to SliceCon? I really want to see it.
I will.
Amazing.
I will.
I just found my other set of notes about Osiris, which is the vision I had when I touched the Amber Plinth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is mummified hands, no horns, ? Standing in front of an altar in a cavern, humanoid figures screaming in rapturous joy and pain over an altar being flayed by a black force. Over an amber altar, I feel joy in my revelation in this form that I inhabit. figure disintegrates and particles form in the shape of a skull. We all laugh. I know its name, Osiris.
And mouth hands.
Cool.
Creepy shit.
Um, just
I mean,
just a question.
Yes.
As we pass that balcony and that like clergy guy like leaning over and that with that memory coming up for Muadnhait, does that look familiar? Like
Nope, running from the fire, does not glance.
okay.
I
Never
don't.
mind.
I wouldn't say that it looks any more or less familiar than normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that sounds a lot like that tableau that we just saw, but what do I know?
Fair.
Who
But-
knows? As you exit through the main entrance, the mists, of course, roiling through the courtyard, and the black carriage with its 2 onyx steeds attached to it, awaiting your arrival. As you step onto the dirt-strewn cobblestones.
Oh, I'm under it. I'm riding underneath, I guess.
You are indeed right. Congratulations, you have gotten yourself completely underneath it. You are.
Instead of getting on top of things, you're getting underneath things.
It's fine.
I'm a bard.
Yeah, the door opens and
That tracks.
you enter it. And there goes Louisa.
She wants to go to bed.
I don't blame her.
She's like, get in the carriage.
Oh,
We're
she goes in, she
going
goes
home.
out.
We're not stopping.
Oh no, I went too far.
We're not stopping to pee. Everyone use the bathroom before we leave.
Wow.
Like,
Tiny
really
one,
are-
if
you
we
are
leave
the
you
party
here
mom.
and
I'm stuck on the
for
wall.
once it's
You're
not
stuck on the wall?
He's stuck on the wall.
Jesus, you really are stuck on the wall. Hold on. There we go. There. Now you're... There. You're not stuck on the wall
They
anymore.
can't take him anywhere. Tiny one, if we leave you here and you get in trouble, we can't rescue you. There he is.
As I said, I was stuck on the wall. I couldn't move.
And away
I
you go.
I just had to finish my joke.
Yeah, no.
The carriage...
Wait, stop
I
with
am-
the Wizard of Wine? No? Okay, no.
The carriage
Well,
door shuts. The horses turn towards the now opening portcullis with the drawbridge fully down and over and across into the misty valleys of Barovia. The question is,
before
where do you want to go?
I think the idea was to
I
go
thought
back
we were going
the
back to
tower.
Ginny's tower.
Okay, that's fair.
When we're going back towards the tower, can I look to Muadnhait
Of course.
and ask Muadnhait? I mentioned earlier, before we arrived here, that Louisa should speak. The little were-raven girl. Perhaps she's here in Barovia. She did say that's where she's from. Maybe
Sorry, what?
she's
I missed. Could you start that again? I said Louisa. You said Louisa should.
yes,
what?
so-
I didn't understand you.
When we arrived in Barovia, I mentioned to Louisa that she should reach out to the little were-raven girl. Said she was from here, and see if she is here right now. If she is, maybe she could meet us at the tower. Maybe, just maybe, she might have some information about lycanthropy. Just a thought.
That little raven, were-raven girl's name is Muriel Vinshaw.
I know it's Muriel, and I love her. She's my favorite fucking NPC.
And so you're asking me to send her a message.
Yes, I am.
Very well.
I certainly can't do it.
I can. And Muadnhait will open up her character sheet that keeps closing every time she refreshes Roll20.
It happens.
Yep.
Mm,
And
Same.
will cast Sending.
Okay.
And will say, okay, Because I got to do this in 25 words. I'm trying to figure out how Muadnhait would indicate where this tower is. Is there a landmark near it that I can tell her to navigate by?
It's a big tower in the middle of the road.
Yeah, it's at a
Yeah,
crossroads.
but I don't even know where the roads are. It's Barovia. I don't know this place.
You're using one of your warlock slots for this because it's a 3rd level, so I don't know.
No, that's a bard. That's a bard slot.
Okay, you're using a bard slot.
Sending is a bard spell.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you left the tower at sort of a crossroads where the actual carriage picked you up.
Well, we went by a number of landmarks.
You
so
sure
if we
did.
backtrace on a map, we can probably figure out where we were located.
All right, then the message that I will send to her is... Remind me where we met Muriel?
We met her in Venrichton's shop when she helped me break into his room with Amnestria.
That is correct.
That's right.
Yeah, they brought the news that Jack and Bertie were with Alanic.
Yes. I mean, it's entirely possible she's not in Barovia right now, but she did mention she was from there, so I'm hoping maybe she's...
All right.
Even if
So
she's not here, she might be able to...
I mean, she only gets one sentence back to me, but she might be able to get here.
I'm going to do this because
so
before you say you're sending, I'm going to bring back a map that you guys haven't used in a very, very long time. And that is your map of Barovia, which you marked up.
Okay.
If you don't recall, I'm going to bring you back to it.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you guys know where the hell you are, right? So there we go.
Yeah.
So this is the map of Barovia that you guys used. You
Oh,
marked
look,
certain things
we
as
just went to
gateway
the
of never
place where
going here.
Never go here ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, this one here right here. It says never go here. Ever, 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 ever. What happened to that?
Beautiful but deadly.
Never go here ever, 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 ever. Gateway of never doing here. Road, what is this? Road fill? Beautiful but deadly. That Sarah Falls, right?
Yeah.
Old Bone Grinder, don't work anymore. That's great.
Yeah.
Valaki full of fools. That's good.
Yeah.
Very judgy. Argynvost dragons. The hell's that about? You don't know.
Dragons question mark.
Dragons? The Ember Temple, big old red
And
X.
yet, still, never let me visit the Wizard of Wines.
That's right. You did not go to the Wizard of Wines.
True.
It says right here, the Wizard
Is that
of
where
Wines.
Maybe our tower is near the Wizard of Wines.
I think if I
maybe.
recall, I don't believe so, because you did see Old Bone Grinder, which is this massive windmill. You went through the gates of Barovia, which are here, right? To get to Castle Ravenloft, which is over here. So I would say...
We were on the Old Svalich Road.
You were on the Old Svalich Road. You had not yet passed through Valaki, so I'd say that your tower is probably closer to... Probably here? Probably right here at the bend of the forest.
I mean, at least it's not too far.
No.
Tower.
So you were saying, apologies. Go ahead with your sending.
Okay. Well, now I was just gonna be like, I saved the rest of the words for landmarks, so now I'm actually gonna have to do it.
Yeah. I'm counting 25 words.
I would also mention the lycanthropy. Just a thought.
Okay. Muriel, it's your friends from Venrichton's. Are you in Barovia? If you can, meet us at the tower past Bone Grinder on Old Svalich Road.
There we go. 25.
Lycanthropy.
Oh, sorry. Was that not... what the fuck? Wait, was that 25? Did I miss the last word?
Yeah,
I thought that was 25.
Lycanthropy made it 25.
Okay.
Nice.
Bone Grinder is one word on the map, so I counted it as one word.
Sky hooks. I don't understand. Lycanthropy? What the fuck?
And she does. She kind of goes, lycanthropy. Because she didn't ever mention it. And she ran out of words because it was a lot to convey.
Somewhere in some world, whether it be this or another one, Muriel Vinshaw is just going like, Okay. So you guys are making your way
Downtown.
towards your tower. It takes about an hour or so, I would say, to get from Castle Ravenloft to your tower.
Muriel respond at all.
Yeah,
Muriel,
because she
Muriel,
can respond.
yes, that's right. If she's on the same plane of existence.
If she's not, there's only a 5% chance that it fails.
If she's not on the same if she's not on the same plane of existence as you.
If the target is on a different plane than you, there is a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive.
Oh shit! It's in any plane of
it's
existence.
How she's been. Yeah, because
Yeah.
remember the first time she tried
Got
using
it.
it, she tried to send a message to.
That is
Mikmick.
cool.
Wipe.
Yeah, Strahd tends to interrupt them, but I feel like maybe adding lycanthropy on the end will make him be like, oh, okay, I don't give a shit.
She is lycanthropy. All right, so I would say roll a d100, and if you get a 1, 2, 3, or
He's
4, or
sleeping.
5, then it does not arrive.
88.
Okay.
Yeah.
88. Okay, so Muriel Venshaw then does in fact hear your message and responds in a like manner immediately. And she says, "Hey, why not? I remember you. You're that really cool fish chick. Are you in
7.
Barovia? Oh shit. That's messed up. I'm hanging out with Hafiz."
I swear
And that
to
is
God.
25.
So on that, yeah.
No,
So
that's only
on
19.
that,
That was 20? Okay, 5. Hanging out with
That's
I'm
19.
I counted. I have fingers too. You know, I count very well on my fingers. It's the only way I can count.
I wasn't counting.
That's fine. I'm pretty darn sure where that was. If that was 15, I'll count 15.
It's 19.
19. That was 20. I'll call it. Just for the sake of your counting, I'll call it 19. So I give myself another 6 words. So that's cool. I'm hanging out with Hafiz. We're heading to Demolieu. Bye.
Fuck.
I swear to God that.
So upon receiving that message, Moynata's kind of just like listening and just like, yep, this sounds about right. And then when she says the name Hafiz, you just see Moynata's face go back to stone. And she heaves a sigh and she says, I don't think she's in Barovia, but wherever she is, she's with Hafiz. And they're headed to Demolieu. Demolieu. There we go. So on the plus side, we know where he is. On the minus side, I don't think we're getting any information out of Muriel anytime soon.
Do you have any more spells?
Yes.
Can you
I
message
do.
Jack? Can you tell him to get Bertie out? I don't want them
Yes,
anywhere
where-
near him.
Oh, I didn't realize they'd gone back to Demolieu. Where should I tell them to go?
They're not in Demolieu. I don't believe.
Oh, they're not?
I don't
Anymore?
believe so.
They're in Carticus.
That's right.
No, they're not. They're
One
How
shot
did we get to Carticus?
So, no, they're not in Cardiff.
I think Cave took them there.
I don't believe
But
so.
wherever they go, the Cave
No.
could have taken them anywhere.
So this was after
Sure.
your Wolf Out episode, Louisa.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah.
Darkon, this was at Alanix. Not Alanix.
Yeah.
It was at Alanix. Yeah.
At
It was,
his,
right.
yeah, like
Yeah.
his townhouse
Yeah.
or his office or whatever
Correct.
he had
Exactly. And then they stored you in the basement, and then you said goodbye to Jack
Right.
and Bertie,
there. Yeah.
and you guys went off on your own.
Right.
And Jack and Bertie stayed in Darkon.
They stayed in Darkon. Okay. All right. Crisis averted. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Too much to drink.
Yeah, I don't believe
Maybe
you
I
told
should
them
lay
to
off.
go
No,
back to
I don't think
Demon
that's the day.
It doesn't make sense that you
Too
would
much to drink
either.
or not enough to drink?
I don't think that it would make sense that you would ask them to go back to Demon because
No.
that place, first of all, fuck that place.
Yeah, exactly.
And second of all,
That is the actors.
I don't believe that your family would have helped them anyway.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. No. Crisis averted. Never mind. I'm sure. I hope they're all right.
You almost gave me something, and I'm like, are they? Oh shit, are they? Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Not.
but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's messed up.
Yes.
She's been through enough, poor
Can you-
birdie.
I know. My poor baby.
Can I ask
Yes.
for a favor?
You can
Out of
ask.
curiosity. Can you send a message to Amnestria? Because I'm rather curious what will happen if you do.
I've
Interesting.
never tried.
Never thought of doing it before, so
Well, I suppose we're about to finally get some sleep, so why the hell not? It's been a strange enough night already. And I'll use my last 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
So please don't let anything attack us on the road. to cast
Right, you
sending
just jinxed it.
to at least I have Dexter attacks now. Just cast sending to Amnestria. And say,
Hold on. Please roll a d100.
oh right,
I just want to know what happens.
97.
97, nice.
Okay.
I will send a message to Amnestria and say, hello, Amnestria. You're in timeout. This is an experiment. Your sister wanted to know what would happen if I tried to contact you.
Louisa says hi.
Fun. And that's the end. Fun is the last
Fun!
word.
I love
Lycanthropy!
how it's like lycanthropy. It's fun.
It's gonna
It's
become
just-
her new thing. Whenever she
I
finishes
love
at
it.
24, she compulsively has to add a 25th word.
There you go.
So the concept was, the message was, your sister is trying to find out what would happen if we tried to contact you.
Yeah. So basically, by saying you're in timeout, that's me briefly telling her that she's not at the she's not in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah.
She's not fronting right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She responds.
Holy shit!
I wasn't exactly sure until I saw the actual definition of sending. The definition of sending states, and I think I can interpret as such, that you send a short message to a creature with which you are familiar. And that could be any creature in any mind, body, or soul.
Oh shit! I never realized that.
Okay. Fun times.
Is that a new wording? Is that like 2024 version of the spell?
Nope. That's the way it is.
Oh.
That's 2014.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy town.
Oh,
Dear
I have
God,
a question
everybody
though.
has had 2nd level speak with animals forever and didn't know.
Yep.
But so since the creature hears the message in its mind, does Ginnifer get a feedback loop?
Oh, never thought about this before.
I don't think so, because I don't think Ginnifer.
Okay.
I don't think Ginnifer
This is
actually
all
communicates
information.
directly with Amnestria. Right? It's not like they're talking
They're
in their
split
mind to
minds,
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's
That would be
solid
weird, right?
information. That's good.
Oh,
yeah,
my head!
it would be weird, but like that would confirm that they were actually sharing a mind, and instead they're not. Like
Correct.
so, yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely two people in one body.
Yeah.
Two people. Yes. Amnestria responds in 25 words or less and says, and I'm going to mercilessly try to mimic Maeve's accent.
Yes.
You have like a slight British accent, if I recall, correct?
A little bit.
Yeah, like Amnestria's got like a sort of like a higher octave pitch British accent. So she says, time out. That's interesting. I've been in here the whole time. It's funny what you see through other people's eyes. I miss my sister. If that's who she really is. How many words do I have left?
I think you capped it. I kind of lost count.
I think you capped it, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That actually... Huh.
Muadnhait will look up and say, she answered. Some of what she said didn't make sense, but she did say she misses you. Funny, I didn't think she liked you.
And she can't tell a lie.
True, she can't.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're able to communicate with Amnestria without Ginnifer hearing? But
In
same
short
thing
bursts
to-
of 25 words.
would the same thing happen if you maybe talked to Loria?
That is a
I know
very
you're probably out of
interesting
spell for the
question.
moment, but something to ponder maybe.
Right. Well, I certainly
I
can't
have
do it right
to
now. I
say-
am somewhat
There is
tapped.
As Louisa said, there is a part of Loria inside Ginnifer.
I don't
Maybe
know
you
if I can
communicate with that, but as I said, I'm not going to ask you to do that at this moment because
And as I said,
They're
at
all
this moment
tied.
I can't. But
Well,
I
actually...
don't know if that would quite count because I don't know if I would be familiar with Loria. I've seen her sister and her amalgamation with her sister, and I've seen images, but well,
Yes, I believe I was
A
the only
point-
one who actually saw her.
A point of clarification, both Muadnhait and Mikmick have seen Loria. And they've heard her speak.
when just remind me.
Right
I don't
before... Of course. So right before we went into the Nightmare Realm, Alanic used hypnosis on Amnestria.
Oh,
And
right.
it was Loria who answered back. So technically
I
you have...
forgot about that. Okay.
But
My notes
I
are
don't
here.
think we knew.
Then I rescind the reservations I just expressed and just end with, yes, well, when we have time and I have the resources, I will try.
No, Warlock
Unfortunately, I
gets her
can't help you
spell slots back
generate
on
any,
Taurus.
but-
I get... No. I get my Bardic Inspo back on a show. Oh, I get Warlock slots
No,
back.
Warlock slots. You have to level Warlock slots.
Is sending a Warlock spell, because I got
It's
it
a
as
bard spell. I don't believe it's a warlock spell. I just checked.
Yeah, okay, because it's one of those things where if the spell belongs to either class, I can use a spell slot from either class, but if it only belongs to one, I have to use that class's spell slot.
Hey, I did not know that. So
Yeah,
thank you
because
for
I
sharing
have...
information.
Well, it's funny because I already had a bunch of Warlock spells from background and feats. And so I've got... But those Warlock spells counted as Bard spells, and so it's just like my spell sheet is...
Bard, cleric, and
is a cluster.
wizard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
I
just
will not
Googled
be
it
able to
too.
do it again until the next day, until after a long rest.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
We'll just have to wait.
Indeed.
I think
Yes, indeed.
after that
Make it to the tower.
stunning revelation that you are able to contact at least one of the nascent personalities within the shared form of Amnestria, Loria, and Ginnifer. At least only for 25 words at a clip.
Mhm.
Darn.
It's a little bit. I'm wondering what Ginnifer thinks about that.
Mhm. Now I'm wondering if message would work. Or my weird, creepy voice.
Well, I don't think message is, I believe, a creature that you can see within a certain. Yeah,
I
within
just
a
looked at the
certain
text.
distance.
It just said a creature, so it didn't actually say
Right.
it. You don't have to see them for message. Actually, they just have to be within range.
You don't. They just have to be within range. That's true.
But on
you
another
can message
plane,
through
that's a
walls.
different thing.
But if Amnestria is considered as being on another plane when she's in timeout, then yes, message would not work.
That's correct.
So a point
Ooh,
of clarification.
which actually begs. Okay, so actually, mechanics.
Yeah.
Would I know that the person was on a different plane?
It doesn't say
Like
that.
as a player, I. Okay,
spell
'cause,
doesn't
as a
say
player, I
that.
know because I had to roll dice.
Yeah.
But
The spell doesn't
say I would
state
know. Okay.
what plane of existence they are on when you send it. You simply know that you get a response.
But- Well, I mean, not what I know which plane they're on, but what I know they were on another plane.
No.
Because that was the thing. Like, from Muriel's answer, she said, "Are you in Barovia?" and then said she was with Hafiz. She never
Correct.
said whether she was or was not in this domain. So,
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Thank
you can infer. She's like, you're in Barovia? So that seemed to infer or imply.
Mhm.
You infer from her implication that she is not in Barovia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that the four of you, after a little bit more time, finally reach the landmark of your tower, Amnestria / Ginnifer / Loria. Whoever you want to pick, just point a finger at them and then maybe that's them. This tower is, from what I remember, is it? How long does it last forever?
Lasts for 24 hours. And
Well-
it is not concentration.
Guess what? You're on the sort of the tail half of that, so that's good.
Mhm,
It
exactly.
hasn't been 24 hours.
Well, it's definitely been more than 12. So that's the tail half.
Long enough time for
I mean-
a rest, right?
It's long enough time
Yeah,
for a
we still
long
have-
rest for sure.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, we still have
That's-
12 hours
that's all
left
we
of
need.
this thing.
You do.
That's all we need.
Take a
So-
rest.
Even when I
and
do
then
have a
pick
5th
me
level
up.
spell slot, I could be casted if I
So
have
I think that as you approach this massive black tower that sort of stands in stark resolution to the graying mists and sky above you, the carriage comes to a halt as the horses begin to sort of slow their pace. You now stand, or at least the carriage stands, before your tower. I assume that you probably exit the carriage and enter your own newly fashioned abode. Am I correct?
Ladies first,
Correct.
Yeah.
and the fact that Eugenie has to probably go in first.
Actually, no rules or stipulations on that. It's just a tower that lasts for 24 hours.
Do you have locks on the doors?
I probably do, I would presume.
I mean, it doesn't say, right? Does it say like the doors
It
magically
doesn't
lock?
say it doesn't say the doors are magically locked.
Hmm.
It's I probably would have conjured locks on the door.
I don't know if you can do that.
If
Is that
that is-
part of the spell? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, it doesn't say
What
it, but
is-
it says I can pick
What
the.
is the spell again?
It's
I'll
some
just
cool ass
spell
spell from Xanathar. Am I wrong? Xanathar's or
No, it's from a very specific one shot that The spell only
Oh,
exists-
that's right. It's from the fucking Lost Laboratory of Qualish or some shit, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the actual name.
That's the
Lost
net-
Laboratory of Qualish or some shit is the name of the actual adventure. Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Okay,
Or some
so
shit is subtitled.
Or
yeah,
some
to be
shit
fair,
like that.
When, yes, so to be fair, when I picked my spells, I just kind of picked a bunch of random ones. I wasn't really sure what I wanted, and given my patron,
Hmm.
I feel like me knowing some weird ass fucking spell that no one else knows is fitting.
Yeah. Feels even sadder knowing that your patron can't learn that spell. Ha ha.
Fuck him.
Ha ha.
No, but it also does say any equipment or furnishings conjured with the tower dissipate into smoke if removed from it. So if
Yeah,
anyone
so you
tried to
can't-
rob it, they'd get outside and be like, poof.
What the
Oh
fuck?
no!
Imagine like some like Vistani bandits who are like, look, he's a tower. We're going to go in there. We're going to steal all the fucking chairs. Let's go. They walk inside the tower, which is of course unlocked. They walk in. This place is beautiful, man. It's fucking amazing. They grab the chair. They grab it. They run out. Poof. The fuck?
I like that
Shh.
your Vistani suddenly became Latin American. Like, what
Yeah.
that was like Cholo Vistani.
My God.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
I'm losing my mind here.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. Apologies for that. All right.
No, it was great.
Yeah,
I
sure.
enjoyed it thoroughly.
I'm sure you did. All right. So they're teamsters. It's cool. The I guess the locks that you've conjured on the door since you left, they don't seem to have been molested or altered in any way. So you can enter knowing that the tower is as you've left it.
Okay.
Sleep.
Well, Laurie is just gonna have to use a crowbar to get through the door, right?
Well, that's
Well,
that's her MO, right? Just
So
crowbar everything.
So the thing is, the tower won't disappear even if I disappear and go back to Amnestria because of
Right.
the stipulations Matt gave me for spells with them. So it's a good spell to have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I have a question, Matt.
Yes, we have a few
Would
minutes
Amnestria
left.
be
Yes.
yes? Would Amnestria be considered asleep in her current state?
In her current state, is she asleep? No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No, she is not asleep.
Okay. Never mind then.
All right, because also y'all
I had
are
a-
admin, don't you not sleep?
We meditate, but I had a really cool idea.
Yeah, but you don't sleep.
now that I know some things. I mean, no.
you were gonna try to dream on her, weren't
She
you?
wants to.
I was
send her
gonna
a
try to dream on her.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was gonna try it, but if she doesn't technically sleep, I don't think I can.
No, and I mean, look. Truth be told, Eladrin elves in general, they do not sleep; they trance. Not only that, but I think that you know that the transition from one form to the other requires unconsciousness. Now, unconsciousness doesn't mean sleep. It just means a state of being in which you are not conscious. So I guess the
Yeah.
question I have for you is, does it require sleep or does it require unconsciousness?
Well, the spell requires sleep.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then
dream
it says,
does.
It says very specifically sleep.
then I guess that you're
It says-
you're SOL when it comes to that.
It just says that the target is asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doesn't work on Eladrin and elves and things that don't sleep.
I just thought it'd be a really cool way for Amnestria and Ginnifer to actually like meet and like have a talk, but
Who says that they won't?
well, I mean, I'm not saying they won't. But there have been a lot of revelations this
agree.
session.
I agree.
And Jennifer's learned a lot of things she didn't know.
I think we all have.
I think we all have, yes.
We've all learned something new today.
You know, just to faffo a little bit.
Fafo, please.
We don't know if Flora is in the same place.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a 5th level spell
Obviously.
slot I wasn't intending on using. I could try and see what happens. Worst case, I use the spell slot. And...
I'm
Right?
going to bed. Good luck. Good night.
Mic drop. Louisa's just like, boop.
All right. So as I mentioned before, there are beds on the 2nd floor and a bathtub and bathroom and a sauna on the 3rd floor.
You are the swankiest, bougiest bitch I've ever known with this fucking tower. That's amazing. Let's go.
And of course, my little library on the 1st floor.
Of course.
You know.
You need this.
As you know.
You need some
Thank you, Ginnifer.
education of your minds. I'm alright with it.
Yeah, White Knot heads for the tub.
Nice. We know where she's going.
Louisa
Like
just
the
goes
actual-
to the first bedroom that she can find and just basically face plants.
Oh,
she's been going since Cersei, basically.
That's so true.
she's
I mean,
so true.
Yeah.
So it should be known the tower is very small. So there's no bedrooms per se. Every floor is its own thing. So the 1st floor is just like a little study area with some desks and a ladder leading up to the 2nd floor. 2nd floor is like a couple beds, some like chests, maybe like a bookcase or something. And the 3rd floor is just the bathroom. Like, it's not like there's multiple rooms on each floor.
Fine. Don't need a room, just need a bed.
Baboom.
Song.
Mikmick, what
I mean,
about you?
Mikmick would probably head towards the study and do his long rest, which is just staring at the books,
Staring.
all the books and study equipment, while
God.
standing perfectly
Zoning
still.
out.
Just so creepy. I know we've not gotten away from the creep factor of Mikmick. Just this little puppet man, gray skin, white hair, just staring eyes, just like not creepy
I'm
at all.
imagining
Right?
going-
Zonked out.
Shh.
I'm
Zoned out.
imagining going-
What?
I'm imagining going back to the people robbing the tower, and Mikmick's just standing sitting in the doorway, like staring.
Like a gargoyle. Just like
No, he's just watching the door, and then when
Yeah.
the people enter, it's just like Mikmick's just standing there, just
Like, what the fuck?
motionless, just staring right at them.
Shit! Drop it! Drop it! Yeah, that's definitely not creepy at all, and won't be going into my dreams tonight.
Quick,
So
say
thank you so
something
very much.
unsettling.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, should he be T-posing? That would make it more creepy.
Oh my God! What's wrong with you?
God.
Don't do that.
What the fuck?
God, that entered
Silly
my
humans.
core. I don't need that.
Terrifying.
Okay, so thank you for that imagery. Really appreciate that, Red. Louisa's face planted. Amnestria, you're the last of us. What do you want to do here?
I mean, I feel like that's a good thought. I should try the dream idea just to see what happens. I got nothing to lose if I try to contact Loria, right?
Nothing
Sure.
ventured, nothing gained.
Because,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Also, you're about to rest, so you'll get that spell slot.
Exactly. I don't know what will happen.
Hmm.
So, for all I know, this is gonna fuck everything up, and Loria's gonna appear in the morning. I don't fucking know. So,
Wouldn't
I
that
just
just be a delight?
That would be new.
you wanted some faffling. I'm faffling, okay?
Well, I regret everything. So
So tell me what dream
That's
does.
thinking. Well, dream. I can post it for you in the BTT. I
talk
feel like
about-
that's easier because it's a fucking paragraph.
It's a lot. That's okay. We're
It's a
going
lot.
to learn what dream does and what effect it has on the game.
Oh, it didn't post.
I can also look it up in my compendium,
I gotcha.
which I'm going to do.
Oh, display in BTT, is that right? There we go.
Dream.
Sorry about that.
I've found it. This spell
Right.
shapes a creature's dreams. Choose a creature known to you as the target of this spell. This target must be on the same plane of existence as you. Creatures that don't sleep, such as elves, can't be contacted by this spell. You or a willing creature you touch enters a trance state, acting as a messenger. While in the trance, the messenger is aware of his or her surroundings but cannot take actions or move. If the target is asleep, the messenger appears in the target's dreams and can converse with the target as long as it remains asleep through the duration of the spell. The messenger can also shape the environment of the dream, creating landscapes, objects, and other images. The messenger can emerge from the trance at any time, ending the effect of the spell early. The target recalls the dream perfectly upon waking. If the target is awake when you cast the spell, the messenger knows it and can either end the trance or wait for the target to fall asleep, at which point the messenger appears in the target's dreams. You can make the messenger appear monstrous and terrifying to the target. If you do, the messenger can deliver a message of no more than 10 words, and then the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, echoes of the phantasmal monstrosity spawn a nightmare that lasts the duration of the target's sleep and prevents the target from gaining any benefit from that rest. In addition, when the target wakes up, it takes 3d6 psychic damage. There's a couple of
I had a
caveats in
character
here.
that was a terror with this spell. It was amazing.
Good God. There's a couple of caveats in here that I think the majority of people who read this rules as written would go, well, there's a couple of problems that I think would be blockers to having Ginnifer cast this spell with the target being Gloria. The main blocker being, of course, that she is an Eladrin. Second blocker is that it has to be the target has to be on a creature on the same plane of existence as you. But I'm a DM and I can say what the fuck I want, so I'm going to say fuck it and let's make it happen.
Here we go.
But you're going to have to give something up for it.
Oh?
Yep.
What's that?
You'll find out.
I don't... Okay.
There has to be a foe to a fa. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. I understand. Will Jennifer's own what is the word I'm thinking of? I guess curiosity, but that's not the word I'm thinking of.
Death wish? I don't know. You tell me.
Mhm.
She's always been someone that needs to know things. And I think the riddle of what Amnestria is, and now knowing that Loria is in there somewhere, I think that's just a little too tempting for her to resist trying.
Okay.
Perhaps not thinking of those consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. You cast it right before you go to sleep on a target that you cannot feel, you cannot touch, you cannot spy, you cannot see, but yet you know is within you. And so therefore you just take your hands. Yeah.
I was going to say, Ginnifer probably has like a piece of Loria's hair still.
That works.
Yeah.
Concentrating on that as the conduit which the spell is cast, I think that you find this sort of tingling sensation. And I think those of you, if you were there in the room in which Ginnifer is casting this spell, would see Ginnifer's hands begin to shiver and shake and then convulse. And Ginnifer's teeth grit and her eyes roll back into her head as her back arches and then lies still. Her belly goes up and down as she breathes, but she has now forced herself into a state that Eladrin are not supposed to be in,
Uh-oh.
which is the state of sleep. In order to contact her sister within her. Ginnifer, you open your eyes and you're clothed in a very simple white frock. Goes down past your knees to your feet. The environment around you is without form. It is simply a black void. Your feet touch a perfect mirror. It is without blemish or mark. And cold, so very, very cold. You look down at this absolute mirror landscape that stretches as far as the eye can see. And below you, in your reflection, you see a figure that you have not seen since you were a child. And that is the form of Loria. But it is not Loria as a young woman, the day that she died, the day that everything went horribly wrong. It is the form of Loria, the age of 13. Her hair dressed in the same fashion as when she was 13. And she is standing in the same fashion as you are, but as a direct reflection of you, your feet touching her feet, wearing the same white frock that you were wearing. She looks at you with perhaps the same look of wonder and horror that you are looking at her. What do you say, if anything?
I am so very sorry about everything.
She waits and then speaks in that same voice of a girl of 13. She says, I'm still with you.
I know. I know.
And her mouth opens. No sound comes out, but her eyes arch upward as if she is in intense sadness, and her teardrops fall down her cheeks and land on this mirrored surface, making sort of a ripple out from where you stand to the edges of your vision. And she says in a cracking voice, I don't know if you're strong enough.
I would give anything to bring you back. I have given everything to bring you back.
It wasn't your fault.
Was.
You feel yourself kneeling down towards this mirrored surface, and as you do so, she kneels down and places her hand, as so do you. Your fingertips touching this cold, steely, mirrored surface, as her hand does the same. And she says, "You have given so much already. Let me go." Let me
I don't know if
go.
I can.
Let me go.
I can't.
She closes her eyes, as do you. And then when your eyes open, your eyes meet hers. And her brow is knitted. And her face grimaces in pain. Her eyes flood with tears, dripping on the mirrored surface of the floor on which you stand. And she opens her mouth and screams, "Then kill Amnestria!" And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Fuck!
Shit.
No! Not the outcome I wanted.
Not the outcome. Yeah.
We faffed a foe right there.
Yep, we sure did. Poked a bear, faffed a foe.
I mean, that was Ginny's goal in the first place, is to kill Amnestria.
Well, technically, Jenny's goal has
Yeah.
always been to bring her sister back, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're going to have to find out what happens next.
Question that.
Find out
I
after the
posted it in
fucking
chat.
around next time.
But would have,
Ravenloft,
would
Domains of
Ginny have
Dread.
been speaking in her sleep?
I don't think so. No.
Think so?
No. I don't think that would be the case. But I appreciate
Because, as I said, Mikmick was conscious through all that, and
No.
probably the closest.
If
to
anything, you would just, like, if you were conscious and looking at her, you would just see her, like, having almost a seizure, essentially. And then just her whole body would go limp. But yeah, that's where we're going. That's where we're going to stop for tonight, folks. That's the game. Now,
Do we get a long rest,
I
or
was
do we have to
going-
wait until next
no,
time?
absolutely not. I would say, I will deliberate as to whether or not whoever shows up is going to get a long rest. But I think that it's unfair of me to say that whoever shows up would not get a long rest. Just as to what occurs after that is not quite. Well, I don't really know what's going to happen after that one, but I guess we'll find out
next time on Ravenloft.
Next time on
Well,
Ravenloft, Domains of Dread. But yes, okay, we're ready to get out of here.
The good news, Matt, is Loria does have a character sheet, and I've been leveling it ever since, just in case something weird fucking
I am
happens.
very glad to have you have done that, because I may need that very soon. So, that said, I think it's time to say goodnight, folks. You guys are still in Barovia. There's a lot more Barovia. Who knows what could happen in Barovia? Everything's sunny in Barovia. That's
when it's not.
except everything. And so let me just say goodnight to everybody. But of course, we're all going to say goodnight to everybody. So let's just start up here, go that way. So let's start with Megan. Bless you, Megan. Bless
thank you.
Yeah, there is a lot of pollen. My eyes are itchy. So Megan, tell us where you can be
Yes,
found on the
I
internet,
do.
please.
That is me. You can find me at Megan Linapp on Instagram or in our Discord. Cue the doobly doo.
Doobly doo has
And
been cued.
if you are local to New York City, then this Wednesday you can find me playing Laertes in a reading of Heartbeat Ophelia at the ART Theater on 53rd. You can check out my Instagram for more details. Come out. It's a fun time.
Super. Thank you, Megan. Moving to Megan's left, that is, man, the Fafos of the Fafo, the Queen Fafo,
The
who
faffiest foe.
maybe has learned to fa less, and
Never.
but who knows? Maybe not. Maybe this will just spur on more fa. And that is Maeve. Maeve, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, Maeve. You can find me here on Ravenloft Domains of Dread. You can also find me on the Dark Domain servers, where I will be streaming later this month a Everyday Heroes game, which I'm excited for. You can also find me on the Maid's Fate server. You can find my art on our wonderful channel. I've done all the art for all the characters and aliens. Even when they die, I make new characters for Matt because he is an amazing person. and
Oh my gosh!
deserves to have art.
The
for
players
his
deserve the
movies.
art. The art is for them, not for me. But I appreciate
That's
it.
for you too,
A
Matt.
compliment nonetheless. I appreciate you, Maeve.
Art is for everyone.
Art is for everyone.
Exactly.
Super. Yes, Maeve's an amazing artist, and God knows your art has grown leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds over the time that I've known you, Maeve,
Thanks.
so I'm really happy to see you grow as an artist and as a member of our family. So thank you so much, Maeve. Moving, of course, to your left, Maeve, we have our friend Red Platinum. Red, where can people find you on the internet, please?
You can most likely find me on our Discord, where I post random shit most of the time, just like I do in game. Post random shit. But yeah, that's most likely where you'll find me. So if I'm not on Discord, which I usually am, I'm probably playing a game. So you may find me on Steam.
Yeah, like with a bazillion games. Guys, I've never seen a person with more games in their Steam library than Red
You
Platinum.
got about 300.
Jesus, tap dancing. That's a lot
Bro.
of games,
What?
dude.
Ow.
300.
Sorry.
You are literally
No,
holding
not-
that whole company up by its purse strings.
Okay, looking at my Steam library, it says I've got 849 games.
Jesus Christ.
Aw,
Oh, you're making me so mad.
that's a-
You get all this money, Red. God damn.
Don't ask him where he gets his money. You never ask Red where he gets his money. That's the first law of
No.
Red Platinum. Never ask. Never ask.
And
Bundles and discounts.
He has an OnlyFans. That's the
and only feed.
I don't have any vices. That's probably why.
That's
where all the money
that
goes.
you know,
That is a
I
fucking
think
lie,
this
Red.
is your vice.
no
He's playing
kids,
D&D.
Yeah.
no kids, no vices, D&D only. Thank you so much, Red.
Yeah.
And then finally, of course, to our lovely Sarah at the very end of the bar here. Sarah, where can people find you on the
Hello.
internet?
I'm Sarah. You can find me on the internet at Lovely Llama on various social media platforms, where today I posted my first tweet, or exclamation, or whatever you're calling it these days, in a year, to promote a GoFundMe to support my lovely husband as he leaves tomorrow on a jet plane to be in Europe for 3 months performing opera. But that shit be expensive, and we are not Red Platinum. So, so we've got a GoFundMe up. If you are interested in throwing like $1 our way, we'd love you forever, and the link is on my Twitter. That's enough shilling. Other than that, you will find me on our Discord, where I keep trying to be more active and failing miserably, but if you ping me, I will respond to you. And here on Slices and Dices, playing all of the games with these lovely folks around me.
Nice. I would like to say thank you to a lot of people, and a lot of sponsors. But first and foremost, of course, I would like to say thank you to these 4 lovely people above me. They are the awesomest Ravenloft players a DM could ever ask for. So I am very happy to carry on this story. We're in the final throes of it, though. So it's well worth stating that after we complete this campaign, I think this is the first time I'm going to say this, it brings me to a slight bit of emotion that I will say this, that after Ravenloft Domains of Dread ends, there will be a slight hiatus before we bring another campaign out of the woodwork. And who it will be with? Who knows? I might not even be the campaign runner for it. But it will be amazing because it is on this channel where there are amazing people who love role-playing games. And just being cool people. And these 4 people are the exemplars of it. So I'm very happy to have shared this time with them. And of course, I'm very happy to share this time with the people who are part of our Slices and Dices family here on this in this game and otherwise, who are part of chat. If you're also watching this video on YouTube, give us a like, give us a sub. Hopefully you like what we do, and we'll make more of it for you if you keep on supporting us. We've got some really great sponsors. I wanted to sort of give them a shout out at the end. We've got Monument Sound or Monument Studios, who gives us almost all the special effects and music that we use for our games. We've got Into the AEM, who gives us amazing things to wear. T-shirts aplenty. I'm wearing shorts of theirs right now, which are super soft and buttery, and I can just move around and I'm like, that's right, loving it.
Buttery.
Buttery, yeah, buttery shorts. That's like 2 words that I've never said together in a sentence. What the fuck?
Yep.
It's like the worst mafia nickname ever. Yeah, that's Butter Shorts.
Hey, it's Butter Shorts. Hey, Butter Shorts, come over here with fish face. Yeah. Wow.
An extra guacamole.
Yep. And then our other sponsor is Jasper Nilsson Siren, who gives us amazing maps. We've got Chepeku, who also gives us great maps. We're very happy to have them as a sponsor on the channel. And it's worthwhile mentioning that we are always appreciative of all the raiders who come in from other channels to give us a high five, and we're more than happy to give you a high five back in return. So keep on fighting the fight, folks. This is a great channel, and I'm very proud to have headed it up. I feel like this is like the end of some shit. This is weird. But
I was like, you sound like you're retiring.
I'm
Matt.
not
What is
retiring.
happening?
Yeah,
No,
I was
I'm
like,
not retiring.
Do you have an announcement?
No, there's
Like-
no. I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't do it now.
Good, thank God.
Yeah, no, there's no retirement for me.
I was like, is Matt about to rage quit?
No,
What's
rage quit. Fuck this game and fuck up.
He's like, they have FAFO'd one too many times.
Yes, they've broken the FAFA. The line must be drawn here. No, I wouldn't be doing that. That's not fair.
Well, we're already doing it live.
Yes, doing it live. You must do it live. But I will say to you all to always keep this in your mind, even in the darkest of days, to remember to take care of each other. And never, ever forget to take care of yourselves. Thank you so much, folks. We will come back to Ravenloft Domains of Dread in a little bit of time. I think we've got some time off for the July 4th holiday, but we will see you all soon.
Yes.
And so we love you all, and we hope that you have a wonderful time away from us. We will see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching. See you. Good night.